Good afternoon and welcome to another round. We're back with the reunion of Love is Blind, season 6, episode 13. Baby, yeah, we came to a finish, y'all. We are here. We made it. We done made it through the whole season. We are here. I'm barely here, child. I don't know about you, Elsie. I don't know about am I tripping or not, but I'm barely here. We here, child. We here. I don't know if anything got solved, resolved. Are they still together? Are they not? Are they living together? Are they not? Are they a real couple? Are they not? Is there a beard in the house? Or is there a beard in the house? I have no idea. But if you are here with us right now, please do us a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Go ahead and throw some hearts in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Shout yourself out, okay? We want to see that you're here and present with us because we got a lot to talk about, baby. It was a lot going on and nothing at the same time. I don't even know how that worked. I don't even know how it worked. Come on in, come on in, come on in. How are you, El Cid? How are you? Am I tripping?
I'm good. I'm still thirsty for information. There's a whole lot of conversation that wasn't happening. It's always like the Lachey's we always have a critique and it's always not enough. So I'm still on not enough. What's going on? Am I tripping?
Can you hear me? Okay, because I can't hear anything, but I'm good. Thank you for asking. I had to double back and watch it twice. Initially watching it, I felt some emotion, shed a couple tears. Then going back through it, I was like, started pulling and drawing information. Okay. I started reanalyzing it. So, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You said you had tears, huh? You got to shed a tear for the people? Can you hear us?
I did. There was some moments that had me heartfelt, and we're going to talk about it. I was in my emotions at least twice. You're not you can't no.
I missed that part. I must have grabbed some water for that part.
Oh no, I was choked up. I was definitely choked up.
We're
We're
going
gonna
to get
get
to
there.
it. We're going to
Do
get
we
Yeah.
to
need the
it.
EpiPen? We need the EpiPen?
We're going to need the EpiPen, baby. Nick told us to get his EpiPens ready. Let's bring on Seaway. Hey, girl. You on mute.
Oh, hey.
What's going on? How did you feel about this reunion? Can you hear?
Yeah, I was trying to fix my background. Um, I thought it wins most improved. Most improved reunion.
He got a participation award.
It did. It's better than last year, right? I feel like the season was better than last year. The reunion was better than last year. It wins most improved. I'm not saying I was entertained the whole time. There definitely were things I would have fixed. There were things that they missed. I think missed on purpose. I don't think anything they missed wasn't on purpose because they were getting into the tea that they wanted to get into. They saw it all.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think they made a calculated decision what tea they wanted to address. And they're a network. They have to go through legal. They have to figure out what they want to talk about, what they want to push. So, you know. So yeah, that's the long and the short of what I think. And I'm ordering my food. I am starving.
Yeah, I'm with Jayla on this part right here. Talking about the OG couples on this season. Come on, just have a flashback of where all the couples are. Have that own segment to themselves and let these people have a moment. So that kind of gave me this wasn't given as much as it needed to give, so they needed some reinforcements with it. But it actually could have gave what it needed to give had they asked a lot of questions they left out, like Seaway said. There was a lot of questions And since we was bringing up people's teas and spilling of the teas, I was like, there was a couple of people's teas that didn't get spilt, though they were out there in the world. But we're gonna let them have it. We're gonna let them have it because I guess the narrative wants to be what it wants to be. And yeah. Anyways, in the beginning of this episode, it started off with Nick and Vanessa up in the pods acting like they having their own little moment of what it sound like or whatnot up in there.
Not the whatnot or the whatnot.
The whoop-de-whoop.
That sound like they talk about nothing.
And you know, they got to run it down through the pods. They told us that it was live from the pods this time. I don't know what that meant. I don't know. Was it not live from the pods none of the other time or the sound stage? What you about to say? I'm tripping.
No, I mean, I love the fact that they did it at the location with the pods there, the way they introduced it. So I love how that played out, how they tried to give you the little anticipation, like they're meeting each other for the first time, like the couple did. And then that was the grand stage. I like that. I love that. It was kind of dry the way they brought it in because it didn't flow really well. They did some backstage. There was some backstage. Who was it? Brett and Tiffany sewing each other's clothes. You know, walking around. Somebody else was making out in one of the pods. It just was real short. It just didn't flow right. But I do like the concept for sure.
Well, it didn't flow right because they were trying to clear up some litigation things at the same time while showing us. That's really what it was. You know, they've been making sure that they're going to clear up some of the litigations, just like the food at the end, the charcuterie board at the very end is to show that they had food present. Okay. Cheese, wine, and crackers is not really food, but unless you're a rabbit or something, I don't know. And I feel like they eat more than that too. So I needed to see some plates like how Kenneth had when they was having that breakup. Kenneth had them plates. He was eating good on that breakup scene, okay?
Okay.
But I don't know. It was cute. I mean, I'm not mad at them for being at their sound stage. I'm not mad. You might as well utilize your stage if you have to or whatnot. I mean, it's there for a purpose. So utilize the stage. Is this the first time that I recall that they have a live cast? I mean, a live audience? Because I don't recall them having live audience. Did they have live audience before?
I believe so.
They had it about 2 seasons ago. They had a live cast. They had a live audience. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't remember really seeing the people back there and stuff, or really hearing all the yays and nays when certain things was happening. So I was like, they must have had a closed studio, like applaud now sign and stuff, because it was a lot of ahs and oohs going on during. And I was like, y'all just enticing this little thing with Laura a little bit too much. Like, well, I'm gonna let them have it. I'm gonna let them do their thing. Anyways. Johnny and AD lead the way of the season 6 cast because they was the only couple that actually said I do at the end. And they showed Trevor waiting in the pods. So he was waiting for his moment in the pods. AD didn't have the red nails. And they wanted to know if AD had met up with Clark Kent and stuff. Then we got to Johnny and Amy, and they talked about their families and blending and the JCPenney photo shoot. Hey, Miller, look, I want to do one.
I'm on that. I love that. When I saw that, the 2 pigtails, them standing, it was epic. I was like, needed for sure. Like, I'm going to give them kudos to that. And then I watched, who was it, Chelsea and Kwame's little photos that they did with the family. It just didn't compare. It was cute. Don't get it wrong. You know, the little Superman Halloween thing, Batman, I think it was, Wonder Woman, whatever the characters was. It was cute, but it didn't compare to that. Like, I was on that. I was like, I need that. And them 2 pigtails, he did that. He did that.
Johnny had to add some clip-ins for those pigtails. That's all I'm saying.
It was cute. I liked it, though. It's you know what? I like couples that could play like this together. I actually really do. I like them when they can do that. And so I was like, I looked at it, I was like, okay, sisters, we got to get into the JC Penney booth. That's what we got to do as a little collective. You know, me, you, little one, maybe Bear. We'll see.
Are the
We'll see.
brothers gonna go for that? Because I don't see many brothers gonna go for the JC Penney shoot.
I'm talking about me and my siblings. I ain't worried about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
But
was
if you're
thinking the
asking,
whole.
our brothers will not be in attendance.
not with them ponytails on their thing and not doing that.
One might. So we do have a brother that
Well,
kind of
'cause
gives
he
you
got
big worm
ponytail.
energy because he has not just that,
got
but he does
hair.
the curls with the rollers and he wears a ponytail. So
He
you know,
got hair.
might
He got a man bun, so he can do that. He can get
he
away.
might
with
be
it.
he might be with the characteristics.
Now
of
he definitely ain't about to come with the jacket and the shirt, the shirt off. He ain't about to do that though. He ain't about to have his chest exposed.
Daddy would.
Daddy definitely would. Daddy will with the cowboy hat. You already know how it's going down. That's a whole nother.
Daddy got cowboy hat, open shirt, shorts on with plaid boots.
All right, let's not get at our father right now. Let's get about here.
I have my daddy.
How y'all feel about Johnny and Amy saying that their families are blending well? What y'all think about that? Not you go put the shade glasses on.
For all the shade.
I think it's true. I mean, they got a lot of the same energy. So joining, like, just by their photos and the collection and the amount of traveling that they've done and the cohesiveness, I believe it. I don't have no arguments on that. I believe it wholeheartedly.
Jay, you asked about Johnny?
Mm-hmm. Johnny and Amy.
I don't know nothing about them folks.
Get off. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit.
I'm gonna let you know that right now. I don't know not a thing about them folks.
It's been a whole season, and what you mean you don't know a thing about?
And I don't know.
There was a whole wedding. So at the wedding,
the only wedding we got.
Right.
Right past it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't
Oh
know
my God. Well, the dad, Amy's dad, was very open to, having more children, welcoming Johnny and his siblings as his children as well. So I see them as blending well. And Johnny's parents seem like real salt of the earth people, so they were going to blend well. I see that. And I see as they said, the dads being up to a whole lot more shenanigans than everybody else. I think it blended really well. I'm glad they can travel together and they can just, blend well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not see what with a product placement.
That is for your own company, child. Now, but if they do want to sponsor,
I don't have no stock in
Dunkin'. If you do want to sponsor, please go ahead. I'll take it too.
I want to readdress the familiar faces that they brought back.
We about to, because that's coming up next. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
Right.
Yeah, because there was a question up in there. So yeah, so they do blend well. I think they families blend very good, and I think that helps them for, as they say later on, don't have so many arguments. They talk it through or whatnot. So Nick and what's his wife's name?
Vanessa.
Okay, because I was about to say something else. Nick and Vanessa explained that there has been 11 couples in this process, and 9 of them are still married. And me and Seaway kind of went down the list earlier today or whatnot. And that led me to believe, where the hell is Milton and his wife's name?
Still living a lie. Still living a lie.
Listen, am I tripping?
They're in California. He's in California. The last update I saw.
They still married, huh? Okay.
Yeah, technically.
All right. Mm-hmm. Anything about these couples that stood out to you guys that y'all wanted to speak on? Since
So they brought back Alexa and Brennan, Chelsea and Kwame, Brett and Tiffany, Colleen and Matt, and then they brought 3 uncoupled, Micah, Izzy, and Gigi.
Gigi was wild from season 1.
She was, but I didn't feel there was a need to bring her back. One, she came on with a whole new person, Blake, that ain't even from the show. And
He's from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
He ain't from the show. So there was no need for them to be there. She wasn't even was she an ending contestant?
Yes, she went all the way to her
You
wedding. And
Damien left her at the altar, and she came running out with that dramatic exit with the dress flowing behind her
in the street.
They brought her back because she the one who really really did it for Love Is Blind. Love Is Blind is here because of Giamina, whatever.
Gianna.
And then for the 1-year anniversary for the couple, she was acting wild too. I mean, come on.
With all that drama, yeah, she done really gave Love Is Blind a lot. I mean, I didn't want to see her here with her baby daddy. I don't like it. Like, if he would have married her, but she just sitting here just pregnant, about 10 months, 12 months pregnant, next to this baby daddy, this man. I don't care.
Her partner.
That was my whole point.
Her partner.
Well, that was my whole point. Like, there was no need to bring, like, yes, she gave her time, her episode, her season a run, but bringing her back didn't do anything for the show. Now, I like seeing Chelsea and Kwame. I like seeing Brett and Tiffany. I like seeing those individuals. I was a big fan of season 4. The season 3, I mean, I just couldn't get with it. I just couldn't get with it. You know, I always liked Micah though. Izzy was cool, but I don't think they really needed to be. To feel some type of way?
You like Micah? Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone.
I like Micah. I like her as a person. That's it. Okay. I like her. Micah is a girl, right? No,
I'll be starting with these universal names.
Yeah, but like there's some, like maybe bringing back 2 couples at 3, but like 6 groups, 12 people was excessive. Was completely excessive. Some of them didn't even get intros. Didn't even get to speak, so they were just like pointless.
Tiffany and Brett is all we needed. And then if you wanted a couple to ask a messy question, then you could have brought one more couple back, because Tiffany and Brett ain't gonna give you nothing. So you're gonna need another couple to ask some of the messy questions. Bring back one more, but
you could have had Chelsea and Kwame address the whole Britney and Kenneth thing, and you could have had that conversation. That would have been a really good conversation.
But Kwame looked like he didn't want to be in it. He looking like, don't involve me in it at all. Him and Chelsea was sitting there looking like 2 schoolgirls, like, hell no, I'm not in it. The whole time. They were like, y'all got too much going on. Which they did.
They did have a lot going on. He looked like he just here. He wore what she put out for him to wear, you know, loosen up a couple buttons, and just don't have me say anything. Don't have me say nothing.
Yeah. He's a more reserved individual for sure. I know why they brought Tiffany and Brett back, and that was because later on it played into what Clay said, so having him be able to give that. So I understand that. Chelsea and Kwame, I think, you know, they really had like a real passionate story, and it was like love the entire time for the most part. So I can understand why they were there. The other ones just didn't resonate. They didn't resonate, especially people who were with other individuals.
Chelsea and Kwame was there just so they can show that Chelsea is a casting director and responsible for season 6 cast. Okay, because
we can blame her for Matthew. We can blame her for Matthew.
Yes,
casting director.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's Matthew being there.
She's part of the casting director.
Wait, post her season?
God don't like Matthew being there. Clearly, he'd have cut you off.
Post her season?
Huh?
She got the job
for this season. Yeah, she got a job for this season.
Mm-hmm. She had got the job right after her season. She had got the job.
You didn't see that part where she was speaking?
So yeah,
the shade,
right? So that there, Brett, I could get, like I said, that was because that was Clay's look or whatever. Apparently, Izzy, Micah, and Gigi were supposed to be on the perfect match, so that's why he was there or whatever. I mean, that's why they were there. But Gigi is now pregnant, so there's no point of her being on the perfect match. So I don't know why she was there, other than to point out some people having babies. Because, you know, that's Vanessa's thing.
She's getting her Love Is Blind babies.
Well, everyone who's having babies, we just don't care about. I mean, maybe Zach and Bliss, I think we care a little bit. But that the bigger lady, I don't know her name, with the pick me man, the
With
Brennan.
Brennan.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. Still don't like them.
Mm-mm.
Chelsea and Kwame, they're not having a baby, so I'll talk about why I don't like them later. But and then Giannina, I don't dislike her. That's just irrelevant. And then who
It's
else
just
is
so
pregnant?
far.
Oh, then Zach and Bliss. So
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it was a waste of space to have all of these.
it was a good
people.
try, though. I see where they were going with it. I kind of like where they were going with it, but they didn't give us who we wanted. We wanted Lauren and Cameron. We would have took the other OG couple from season 1.
Mhm.
Right.
I wish they would have brought back some. You know, if they really want to spice it back, they should have gave us some of the divorced couples so they could come back and say why they didn't work out. If
Mhm.
we got Ayanna and Jared,
And Jared,
raggedy behind that I would have
with
took
a little back and forth up there.
Yeah,
That-
I want to go back and forth. Could have gave us Jared and Ayanna.
That should have been, Love is Blind. Where are they now in 2 weeks between seasons or so? You could do one about the couples that are still together, and you could do another episode with the couples that are not.
Yep.
And
Right,
have them
Jared
meet up.
wasn't no different. Jared is just a less cute version of Mr. Clay. Really the exact same, like successful, this and that, not serious. Except for Jared, the difference is Jared played into the peer pressure, so he got married. And Clay said, I'm not going to play into the peer pressure, and did get married. That's the only difference. They both were very unserious.
Yeah, you could have brought Raven and SK back, or at least Raven, because they even tried after again for a couple of times. Shoot,
This one not to do. Could have gave us our favorite couple, the Puerto Rican girl, and
that's Milton. That's why I said, where was they at?
no, the one from the Portland season. I think she's Puerto Rican. What's her name?
You talking about the one that was with the black
Who's
dude?
with Marshall, who ran off with
Marshall? Yeah.
Oh,
They should have brought them back.
Jackie.
Yes.
First of all, bring Jackie. Period. I don't care who she with. Bring
the
Jackie.
the fact that Marshall stay on Ready to Love
Bring
Is
Marshall.
Blind, the fact that he stay on they sack, they should have brought Marshall, because I was just surprised that they
Marshall
didn't.
was at the baby shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they produced. I was like, y'all ain't slick. Y'all gonna have the daggone cups up in the baby shower. And Zach was looking so like, why are we doing this again? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, because they did the family one. The family one out at the farm was real nice.
It was looking like, gosh, y'all just gonna make us do this all over again. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of y'all right now. But yeah.
I'm glad Laura was able to make it from this season.
Well, she needed to stand on business, but we gonna get into her and stuff.
If Laura was there, it would turn into Bad Girls Club.
No, it still was turning into Bad Girls Club, because I was like, a lot of this energy was missing, and I get it watching it back. It brings up some of the energy, but you had a lot of energy when you weren't in people's faces on camera during the season, and then when you got into their faces, you wasn't so much of that energy, because you was doing the most about Sarah Ann. And then we see this clip, you was sitting with Sarah Ann, and most you trying to do is tell her why she shouldn't be with Jeremy. And it's like, go off on her, sis. Like you was going off with her with the girls. Go off on her. You have every right. You have every right to go off on her, but you sat there and just let Sarah Ann just keep talking and talking and talking, and then just be like, well, he's like not serious, and he's this and he's that. And I'm like, girl, it ain't gonna stop her from talking to this man.
It was the going off Sarah Ann for me when she decided to when Laura was dissing Jeremy and she tried to have his back. She get on my nerves.
I'm not a pygmy. You're a pygmy.
I'm about to ask something though that may be an unpopular opinion. Are we officially on this scene now?
Yeah,
Are we there?
Yeah, we there.
I feel like the amount of time they spent on Sarah Ann and Jeremy was low hanging fruit. I did like that they gave it energy, but I just felt like they dumped on both Sarah Ann and Trevor, which were like obvious, which they needed to get some dumping on. But then y'all missing the other villains. I just didn't like how like Sarah Ann was a villain of the show. Let's not get twisted. She's a villain. But so was Kenneth.
So was Jessica. So
So
was
was
Lyra.
Jessica to a degree.
So was Chelsea.
So was
Mhm.
Chelsea. Honestly, even Jimmy did his own version of gaslighting, messing with his friend, but then try to act like people ain't allowed to speak their truth when your actions have something to do with their truth. I'm just saying there was like a lot of villains that didn't. So I know Sarah Ann was a villain, but the girl don't seem like the elevator go all the way up. So I really just
Facts.
didn't like I feel like we were dumping on her. And then Trevor, who's also telling you he toxic, at the point you tell me you toxic, I'm moving on. Okay, you're toxic. Fantastic. So people should stay away from you, right? Okay, let's move on. What more do we got to say?
It was the, may I go to the bathroom, please? May I leave the classroom,
Yeah,
please,
I'm
for
like,
me?
this man clearly got issues. This man has a problem. Now everybody know he's on national TV. Everybody knows not to mess with him, right? I feel like that's kind of what we wanted to do, and we want to shame people from coming on here with girlfriends. I love how Nick, as a man, did hold him accountable and was like, "Don't pull that she wasn't my girl" thing. I don't know why men, black, white, and yellow, all want to pull the "she wasn't my girlfriend" card after they do a woman bogus. I'm very happy that another man called that out. I love that. But like after that, I'm just like, but we all know why they didn't call out the other couple of villains.
The
So
show in its entirety did not give what it needed to give. They were reaching in every aspect. That's why they went for who they went for, Sarah Ann, Trevor, and they kind of bypassed and grazed over all the other individuals. They couldn't pull it together. It was a letdown. Initially I was like, okay, they finna get good. All these they punching and stabbing. Oh snaps, But then it was just like that was it. That's all you giving.
And for me, they came after Sarah Ann because she said this is all entertainment. They were butthurt. I'm sorry. Because she said, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? And they're like, wait a minute. This is true love we're fighting for here. It's about real connections and real marriages here. And Sarah Ann was right.
because Sarah was right and she gaslit us at the same time. She was gaslighting.
Sorry. No, go, because I'm just actually got stuff in my throat. Sorry, let me go on mute.
She was gaslighting us, basically saying that as if it wasn't real, right? That's the part that Love is Blind was trying to call her out for, which needed to be called out for, because don't do a whole bunch of fuggatry and then get on TikTok and say it's all for entertainment, because that's implying that this stuff isn't real or people aren't affected. However, though, I did agree with her about aren't y'all entertained, meaning that without her real nonsense, this show wouldn't be as entertaining. Like if she didn't ride off on the jet ski, it's like when people, like when we be on Little Black Book, right? And if somebody disagree with me, they be like, see what I always saying, da 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 da. Like if I wasn't here to go back and forth with my different opinion, would you be here or would you be bored? Because then these same people be on here. You guys all agree all at the same time. It is so annoying to see you guys all repeat each other's opinions. You know what I mean? Like people want to be mad at Sarah, but they need Sarah. Like they did need Sarah in them jet skis. That was one of one. So
the thing is, Sarah's not lying or whatever and stuff like that. She's not lying. We're here watching the ship to be entertained. They know we're here to watch it to be entertained. That's why they don't give us all the couples that actually get engaged and all this stuff. They want to sit there and tell us it's not in their budget or the capacity. If it's not in your budget or your capacity, why do you hire so many people? Why do you put so many people in these pods or whatever and hope for these reactions or whatnot? Open up your budget more, because clearly you're not spending it on like some of the food and all this stuff like that. You're on a sound stage. So if you're saying that you cannot literally fly all of these people and accommodate all of these people to these location areas and all this stuff like that, figure out some other ways to show us more of these other couples then, because you're literally dismissing some people And I read seen the legal things of it, talking about, oh, these people know that they may or may not get aired, even though they get chosen and they pick these people. You're wasting a lot of these people's time then. Let's be frank, for our entertainment purposes. So to a degree, yes, it is entertainment. That's why we're sitting here and watching it. This is why we're talking about it. At the same time, yes, it is people's real life because it is reality TV. But however, stop sitting here trying to make it seem like Sarah Ann was wrong for saying what she did when other people in the past, because Jackie has said this. Let's be honest, Jackie has said this too, or whatever, and this stuff and that. But it's just like y'all just want to pick on Sarah Ann in this moment because you didn't like the way, and we know Vanessa's a girl's girl. She didn't like the way that she moved on it.
Who else got selected? I'm curious to know.
They be having other people be selected that get proposed to, and we don't get to see their things. And past episodes have talked about it, that people go through this process and we don't get to see their full going out. We don't see their engagement. Some of them might fizz out a couple of times. Last season had about 2 or 3 couples that fizzed out at the honeymoon for different reasons. Carter, and I don't remember who Carter was linked up with, but there was an altercation between another couple that is literally in legal, is in a lawsuit right now because she said she was violated by her fiance. So there's different couples for different reasons, but don't make it seem like, and I understand why they're saying it because of those reasons. Like legally, I'm not saying I'm not going to put a person in danger for entertainment purpose, but at the same time, it's a TV show. Entertainment. It's a television show. This is what it's for. So half of it is true, what Sarah is saying. Now, was she right in the way she said it and her purpose of saying it? I know what she meant, but she was being a little ass. Let's be honest. She was being a little ass when she said it. Or whatever. And she's, y'all want a bad guy. Well, here's the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. That's basically what she was trying to say.
You think she was being cheeky because he wasn't allowed to, I guess, do a switcheroo like Zach did with Bliss?
I don't even know if he asked, though. It don't even seem like he asked for it.
No, he just got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Rose had an interesting comment that I want to reply to. She said, unpopular opinion, what Sarah did was trifling if this was real life engagement, but a 2-week TV show engagement. I think what people need to think about, I don't know if people have been through any type of like, I don't want to compare it to hazing or any type of like if you went to the army and went away or any of those type of situations where they take your phone, they take your identity, or you are kind of under a very like intense process. I think what people who've been on Love is Blind will tell you is that things that are normally a week feel like 3 and 4 weeks. And although it may be a false sense of connection, it is very real for those people. And that's the reason why you got to imagine, especially how we have our phones every second, not being able to talk to your mother, your kids, nothing, not being able to control your schedule, all not having TV. I don't even think they have TV in there. Like, I really feel like it's like very close to like jail, like how they be saying it. You're literally, all you have to do is like send letters, talk to someone through the wall or whatever. And even when you go on the honeymoon, you still don't have your phone. They don't even give you your phone until you're back
in the real world.
In the real world. So I think it's hard for us to understand it because we're watching it from our like, oh, we have our phones. They have nothing like that. So I think it's a very intense process for them.
And with that intensity, they've had 2 weeks where all they were doing was talking to each other. So you imagine the last few days, all it is that Jeremy is talking to Sarah Ann and Laura. And then all of a sudden he makes a decision and now she's cut off from that communication. Any of those people who just were not chosen are just all of a sudden the very next day cut off and thrown right back into their normal life with their phone. And now it's kind of like, wait a minute, I've been talking to you every day for hours for 2 weeks. That's a long enough time to create a habit that you are going to miss intensely.
Right. In which I think a lot of women who defended Sarah Ann's reach out, even if you defended her reach out, which I didn't, but I do understand, like you're saying, El Cid, that cutoff is brutal. and I'm sure she just needed to get something off of her chest. But where her and Jeremy did it wrong is if you guys met up, right? And you decided, you know what? I made the wrong decision. I did this and that. Like, there should have been some type of like, hey, I messed up. I think I chose the wrong person. I know we got our families involved, but I don't want to sneak around. They got because they were being sneaky. That's the problem. So
Yeah. They should have took the Zach route, cut it off, and then go ahead and find her later or whatever. And
Yes, the
this
shady
I wanna address this
cameraman was
question right
asleep.
here. These families are not involved. The families are only involved after they come back and get their phone back. They don't get to talk to nobody. So there's a whole period of while they're gone that they're not supposed to even tell people that they're going to do the show. Trevor was in violation from telling that girl he was going to do the show in the first place. You're not supposed to be telling people that you're going to do it. This is why Laura was so not Laura, Amy was so afraid of what her dad is going to say about this process being unconventional and everything, is because she wasn't able to fully explain to him what the process is and what she's doing. They're not technically supposed to be telling anybody about the shows and anything like that. And the families are not involved until they get their phone back, until the second phase of the process, when they get back home and they could tell everybody that they're engaged or not or whatnot.
I think she was saying that as it relates to how real it is that, like, Laura had her 96-year-old grandma come meet Jeremy, which is a lot to get her on a flight. I think it was in response to the previous comment about how it wasn't, maybe it's not as real.
Her grandma didn't come meet Jeremy. She was supposed to be getting on the plane.
No, she was supposed
to
to
the wedding. She didn't.
Yeah. But
She
like I understand what they're all saying. I do empathize with Sarah Ann. I mean, I've been in situations where you get cut off or you disengage from individuals, but you still have unleft things that you need to say. You still have feelings that you need to get off. You still need some form of closure. So I do understand her reaching out. And then someone else messaged in comments about, going to basic training. He was gone for 9 weeks, felt like 6 months. I do understand. I went to basic training. I've been deployed twice. I've been gone for, 12 months, 6 months, 12 months, 6 months, 12 months at a time. I know what it feels like to be cut off from individuals and to be in close knit environments with individuals. You do build a bond. You do feel that false sense of security because of that love bombing, that sense of things. And it is very real to the individuals in that moment. And then when you go home, you feel like it's still real, and you introduce them to family members and you feel like, these things, but you haven't really been fully introduced to your lifestyle that you've been used to, because you both are coming from different places. So feeling like family is involved. If somebody introduced you to a family member, that may be significant for them. Like, she felt like she made aware her grandmother that is, well in their elderly age, that was big. That was meaningful to her, for her to even bring that to her and to have her prepared to engage in that situation, in that marriage. So, that can be and is a hurtful situation, flat out, period, regardless of time. Like, love has no clock, and it just is what it is. Even if it's false love, it still has no clock.
But it goes both ways, and they say it in the chat. Both ladies is going to feel some type of way because both ladies bonded a connection with this man. It was really Jeremy at fault because he didn't go about it the proper way of cutting one relationship off and then pursuing the other, or whatever the case may be. When he seen that text message, he left that door open and then utilized that door, and then shut the door with Laura properly. He tells, and he can deny it or whatever, but according to Sarah Ann, he told her that he was going to cut it off with Laura. You should have cut it off with Laura before you came to Sarah Ann. You don't go to that woman and say, hey, I'm going to cut it off with that woman. You basically put her in a side chick position. And that's right. You're playing like an actual husband that keeps saying, I'm going to divorce my wife. And right. As long as the wife don't find out, you're not going anywhere.
And not just that, but like you said, they were also conspiring. They both was aligning their lives for that night, that, he didn't come over, I didn't get dropped off. Whatever it is, they were conspiring. So, it was wrong. They were wrong for that, and she participated in that, whether it was Jeremy who, was the ringleader of that. She willingly participated in that situation. But on another note, like, is there really like a sister code? Do I really owe you anything?
Me personally, I say no. I know people gonna say differently, but they're not friends. They don't know each other. They're in competition. Period. Or whatnot.
I think once somebody, whether it's a show or not a show, is engaged or married, me personally, that's a line that I'm just not going to cross. I mean, you could apply to relationships.
It's a moral code, not a sister code, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not moral sister. To me, that's a moral code, a personal code. I feel like if someone is engaged, and then it's fine. The thing is that if you don't abide by that, that's fine. But you have to know in society, a lot of people do. So you can't be surprised that people are calling you pick-me's, home wreckers, this and that, because you're doing something that is a lot of people don't agree with. So my thing is,
in this day and age, I don't know if a lot of people don't agree with it, because we see all these side chicks now.
You're right. The thing is,
we in side chick culture.
I don't know what's off limits anymore. But another point is, even if you don't want to go there, I feel like women should be very, very concerned about a man that puts them in a home wrecker position and hasn't yet to clear it up. Because if Jeremy was telling her, okay, you know what, we had a good night, I completely messed up, this process is a brain F, I'm going to go back and tell Laura that I made a mistake. We're going to be Zach and Bliss, and we're going to run off into the sunset. He went back, lied, and tried to be like, Laura, you're the one for me. Until she was like, hell no, bro. Like,
I'm sorry. I gotta disagree only with this Laura and Jeremy. Laura was out there with Jessica, pushing Jessica to communicate with Jimmy. So I'm sorry, you want to deflect one side chick out of your relationship, but you pushing Jessica into a side chick position. I'm sorry, you do not get the moral high ground for me. You haven't whined and telling her, oh, Jimmy this, Jimmy that. Yeah, he might be open to it, and your stable door is open. So that's where, in this situation, I ain't got no sympathy for Laura in this situation. Because again, see what happened. You threw Jessica out there and a boomerang came and hit you upside the head.
I hear people keep saying that, but to me, that's apples and oranges. And I'm about to say why. Whether Laura is sympathetic has nothing to do with whether Sarah Ann's a raggedy person. To me saying Sarah Ann is a raggedy person has nothing to do with me feeling bad for Laura. I'm actually looking at what this individual did. There's multiple people in this situation that are doing bad things. Laura did something bad by encouraging Jessica to step out. Sarah Ann did something bad. Jeremy did something bad. There are 3 people who did something bad.
But so for the other relationship, we know Chelsea and who was it? Chelsea and Jimmy, they weren't going to make it. So we knew that was an obvious mistake. So, encouraging Jessica, I could see that. I didn't really see the major fault with the L, Laura. Yeah, I didn't really see the major fault with Laura's relationship where Sarah Ann should have intervened. I didn't see that.
I don't know how you missed all that, because the way.
Well, I mean, I saw they had issues. No. Hold on.
But here's the thing. Just because you want to have sympathy for Laura in this moment does not negate that Laura still was doing the same thing you're having sympathy for her of. She's pushing somebody to go and interfere with the engagement and then telling us we should feel sorry for her and somebody interfering with her engagement. That's what we're saying. It's not apples and oranges. This literally is oranges and nectarines. We're still in the same family, sweetheart. You're still doing
I'm not feeling bad for her. I'm talking about, to me, this is equivalent to, and a lot of people do this, if a victim isn't a perfect victim, That doesn't make them a victim. Like if you go out and you pow somebody who has done wrong
Not saying
things,
she's not a victim. Not
but
saying that.
I'm saying that's what y'all are really saying. And I'm gonna take you out of it. That's really what LC just said. She just said, I don't feel bad for Sarah. I don't feel bad for Laura because Laura did the same thing to Jessica. Well, the problem is that that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Sarah Ann is wrong because Sarah Ann is wrong. It has nothing to do with what Laura is saying.
We all agree upon that part, though.
Wait, that's not what Elsa just said. Elsa, you correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't hear you say that.
I said I don't feel sympathy for Laura. Sorry.
That has nothing to do with Sarah Ann, how she feels about Sarah Ann, though.
You think Sarah Ann's wrong?
I don't think Sarah Ann was wrong.
Well, see, there you go, Jay.
You could throw a line out into the ocean and you don't catch anything unless the fish bites. So if Jeremy didn't bite, Sarah Ann will still be in the wings, not invited to the show. So my thing in the middle of all of this, my spotlight really is on Jeremy. That's why I ain't got nothing much to say with Sarah Ann. She put it out there. She knew the man was engaged, yes. But out there, Jeremy, you let that woman know she had a chance. You went out there and didn't take your behind home to your fiance. Because as Laura said in the whole thing, Jeremy is the one that had a commitment to her, not Sarah Ann.
Correct. But Sarah Ann was wrong. Laura was wrong. Laura is a victim. Sarah Ann is not a victim.
I'm just glad we clarified that we disagree. That's all I wanted to get to. That was my circular. I just wanted to get to the point that we're not all saying the same things. So I think, Jay, you're somewhere in the middle, but El Cid is saying something else.
I'm not in the middle. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this, and y'all can hate me if you want to or whatever and stuff like that. Sarah Ann has fair game to sit here and throw her line out there like that. She has fair game. There's many women that have fair game to throw their line out there. That is up to your man, your partner. This is why women start fighting other women instead of fighting their man, and still stay with that man who's doing the
fighting
most.
Both of them.
That's what you should do. But instead of fighting, but like I said, they stay with that man and be sitting here fighting these women day in and day out when their man is the actual problem. That's why I stand with Laura in this moment, because Laura gave most of her smoke to Jeremy on this reunion. It wasn't until Sarah Ann jumped in that Laura started going at Sarah Ann. And she even told her, my beef is not really with you. It's with him, because that was my man. She told her at the beach, that's my man. He owes me, not you. You don't owe me no loyalty. He owes me the loyalty because he's the one who sat there and made the commitment to me. So for the person that made the commitment to me, he should either break off the commitment before going to talk to somebody else or bring his ass home. You fighting me over this man that's going to continue to do what he going to do is crazy. Go check your man, sis. Because all I'm doing is temperature checking. All I'm doing is throwing a line out there or whatever, stuff like that. If that was your man that caught my bait, that is not my problem. My problem goes further. It becomes my problem when I know your man and I continue to go and reel your man in. That's when it becomes my problem. But if I have him on my hook and I throw his ass back in the damn water, don't sit here and say nothing to me.
They both, I mean, I don't know about that, because like, definitely he should get the smoke. That's my man. He violated me. At the same time, you knew. It wasn't like he been sitting there lying to you, making you think that he ain't had no girl. You know, we seen that situation. And I didn't even know he was married. No, you knew his current status and his situation, and you still went in. So at that point, you are fair game too, and you can get what you can get.
The thing is, at the end, and I understand a lot of y'all don't understand this part. This is the part that I do understand. When you're dating multiple people, and I'm gonna tell y'all, like when you're in a polyamorous relationship and you're dating these people, those feelings don't just die off because you decided one of us want to cut off or end up that relationship like that. So her sitting here saying in this moment, damn, I feel like I'm gonna lose my whole voice in the middle of this live. But her sitting there saying in this moment, like, hey, I got feelings for you. They're not dead. But if nothing has become with your situation, holler at me. He needed to delete that until nothing was of that situation, because that's what she said. He didn't delete that. He left it on red and then proceeded to go and figure out the situation. That's a Jeremy problem. That is not her. Y'all want people just walk out of this thing. We just have to explain how they just build a connection because they have nothing else to do but talk to these people. Now their heart, their hormones, their emotions, all of this is invested into this person. I walk out into the real world. I don't see this person for weeks that I've gotten used to talking to all these weeks. I got my phone. I'm going to send a message or whatever. He finally gets his phone. He reads his phone. Ignore the shit. Move the F on. But you didn't. You decided that you're going to find her out in the club and then hang out with her all night. That's on you. And then proceed to tell her, I'm going to go break up with such and such. Bro, that's you. You wrong. Because you knew my feelings were still open. You knew my heart was still open to you and stuff like that. And you wasn't done over there. So if he had the option and he didn't get caught, he would have been playing both of them.
But at no part is anybody saying that Jeremy was right. Like, we all agree that Jeremy was in the trash for that. We agree, but I think the difference is where you're saying that Sarah Ann should not be at fault.
I'm not saying she should not be at fault, but I can't sit here and totally hold her as accountable as anything because her feelings are still open. Y'all want her to just sit there. She's in the running with this person. We're both in the running at the same thing. A day, seconds, an hour before you tell this one you propose to me, you tell me you don't want me. Doesn't cut me off. That doesn't stop me. My pride, me personally, my pride, this is me. My personal pride would have been like, well, you didn't choose me. But everybody pride don't work like that. Some people don't have it.
Called to pick me. She's getting called to pick me, not just because she's a side chick. She's getting called to pick me because
I'm not worried about the pick me thing. I ain't worried about that.
But I want to say, I was listening to your whole thing. By your standards of what you're saying, it sounds like we should give Jeremy a pass too. It sounds like what I'm hearing is Jeremy was just going with his emotions from the pods. Sarah Ann can send messages.
That's not you hearing what you want to hear now, because you know damn well you could try again, say, well, you could try again, because you know damn well I didn't say that, because I said it 3,000 times within my whole statement is he's the one who made the promise to either one of them ladies. He needed to break it off with the lady first before he went running to the other one.
You didn't say it, but I'm saying you said
I said that 3,000-4,000 times, and then told me to try. That's why I'm losing my damn voice on this live.
Now you're gonna be like me because you got the excess mucus. You're gonna lose your voice. I'll talk you.
But I love how Laura went in, called him a clown, said they was both disgusting. I love the way she did not hold her tongue. I love it. I wish she would have just dug both of them a grave at that point. But I like how she ate them alive.
That AIT calling us and bringing us, reeling us back in. She tired of our shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know.
Like before.
But wait, but on that note, on that same concept though, because they turned around and they asked AD what she thought about the situation. AD gave her opinion, which I love, because AD gonna tell you like that and go like this, honey. She gave her all the looks, all the energy, and then that's when they started talking about her being iced out of the conversation and all the girls not really messing with her. For good reason though, right?
Because it wasn't just what she did. I think the moral of the story was how they did it. Like, everybody can relate to, for the most part, even if we wouldn't do it that way, to the text message. I didn't like it. It felt like a pick me text message. I wouldn't have sent it. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I just cannot fathom the emotion, right? I can even understand what the first link up probably felt like. It probably felt like, oh my God, I can finally see you, da-da-da-da. But not only did they do something that was not right, then it was, I'm apologizing, but I'm going to run off in the sunset on the jet ski. I feel like they were really making, as she said, a mockery of the situation. Sarah didn't get iced out just because she's a home wrecking pick-me. She got iced out because she has no sense. Like, at least you say, look, I ain't gonna hold you. I saw that man. I wanted that man. He ain't walked down the aisle yet. I think this is my husband. So I'm gonna go balls to the wall. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And if y'all mad, y'all gonna be mad. But I'm gonna keep it cute. She didn't keep
I would have respected her if she did that.
That you could be like, hey, I don't agree with it, but this is something you got to live with. She taking little nasty videos. She running off on the jet ski. She's almost making light of the situation, which I think is what's most off-putting. It's not just like what she did. Because you guys are right. This is not a marriage of 10 years. It's not nobody with kids. This is not a long-standing living fiance. Like, if you really feel about it, like if you really felt like this is your husband and you want to go all the way to the world for somebody you feel like is your husband, we may not agree with it, but that's your choice. But she just did too much after the fact. And I think that's why,
It's the fact that she said, y'all iced me out. And Chelsea over here, we were not mean to you. I said, what? What they got to do with it? I'm like, Chelsea, shh. We weren't mean to you. You iced me out. We weren't mean to you.
It ain't got no sense. Like, why are you following people's husbands, boyfriends, and like, what are you doing?
Well, technically, it sounds like, and here it could go both ways because I didn't get a clear thing on if she actually blocked the girls or if they blocked her. They were just like, you're not following me, but you're following our husbands. It's like, girl, but you blocked me, so.
The dark arts of it all is I am following my fellow cast members.
Hey, my girl said, boom, I got your boyfriend. I got your man. I got him. I got you. Sarah, I don't know why she thought the girls was going to follow her still, though. I mean, I wouldn't be following you like, child. I'm not following you or Jeremy. I guess they want her. They want her to block the boyfriends and the husbands at the same time too. It's like you better tell your man to block her. Just tell your man to block her.
The wildest of situations is that Sarah Ann just got portrayed as a side chick and a pick me for a man that ain't no good. My thing is that I would take the L Sid J logic if I felt like this was Barack Obama on the line. If this was like Brett on the line, it ain't too many good dudes out here. If you really felt like this was like the dude, and you like, if you gonna fight for your life, end up looking like a pick me, why for Jeremy? Jeremy finna leave you on the side of the road. It's only a matter of time.
She happy she in the house with them too. Vacuum.
She ain't got a place to live. She act like she ain't got a place to live.
She probably don't. What she do now? She living with Jeremy.
She want to ride on some more jet skis. Come on now.
Let her be. I mean, that's what this. Sometimes you just gotta let people have what they want. You know, if that's the man that you want, that's what you wanted to fight for. You see how he just did me, sis. By all means, have at it.
Is she giving opportunist?
I mean, hey, listen, I'll be saying to each his own. If this is what you want to be with, if this, I've had my own situation where I literally had to tell a girl, if you see what he's doing and this is what you want, by all means, have him. You win. You win. If this is your prize, go with it. So it is what it is. I'm not about to be doing all the back and forth over this man when he has not proven himself to be a good man. He already got scandals outside of this. Like he's explaining himself through this process right now about the ex fiance prior to this show. So he already got bad track record, and you still sitting up here want to argue about this man. By all means, sis,
he bought a whole
house.
in
Rose asked, "How is Sarah Ann a side chick?"
She was a side chick before, not now. She's a former side chick.
Yeah, I mean, side chicks can transition into girlfriends, and like it's the same concept of hoes turning into housewives, and that's what it is, and that's it.
And with this, what I did not appreciate, if Jeremy really thought of you as his girlfriend, he would have said something there. Hey guys, I don't like the side chick comment. This is my girlfriend. Could you please respect her as such?
He ain't gonna say nothing. He let her get dragged because he don't want to get dragged. He rather the smoke be on her, which is the crazy part of for Sarah Ann's sake. And I would be speaking directly to Sarah Ann. Also, the reason why women tell other women not to engage in this type of stuff unless this is a stand-up dude, because you're always going to get the short end of the stick, even if you had your reasons, even if he was promising you stuff, even if he was telling you lies, you're going to get the short end of the stick. Because it looked like Sarah Ann was darn near going to break down while Jeremy was the biggest liar of them all, legit lying about the location, lying about this and that.
Well, it's the fact
Sarah
that
Ann defends
Chelsea
Jeremy,
even
but
sitting here
Jeremy
saying
didn't
that
defend.
she's seen him twice already out in public, and she's like, every time he's single, I see him or whatever, and he like, you only see me once. She's like, no, I seen you twice, and I'm like, okay, that's the only time I seen him kind of defend this relationship that he has going on with Sarah Ann is in this moment right here, because then he kind of goes, well, I mean, we go through breakups, we go through ups and downs and stuff like that or whatever and stuff. And I was like, one, okay, yes, relationships go through ups and downs, but every time you out, you run into Chelsea, which is granted 2 times, but that means there's been more breakups than this, and y'all living together.
Why we believe in what Chelsea got to say? She
We
probably
know
was
we can't.
drinking.
She'd have drummed it up because she was like, she made it seem like it was more than just twice. Anyway, it was like, girl, you don't
She
even
was
go out.
drinking.
Clearly, it's the truth because they were backed into telling it. That's
Yeah,
the reason why we believe her, because they tried to get out of it. Then they was like,
but
They was doing the robot.
it was Sarah Ann's face in that moment because it was like, oh, you single? Oh, you single when you out?
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's your man. That's your man. Sis.
But you know
That's
what? Sarah Ann, she had, when you get backed into these type of situations, she doesn't have no choice. She can't let that man go. She's a whole side chick on national TV. You think you're gonna be a whole side chick on national TV and then come in and not be with Jeremy? Oh no, you got to stand 10 toes down on this decision.
hell no. You need to wake yourself up and just own, like, you know what? It was a bad look. I was still in my feelings, sis. My bad. But I see who this Negro is and stuff like that. And yeah, he's free to be with the world. That would have been my best day.
You got to be with him until the next season.
No, you got to be with him at least a year, Jay. If you're going to do all this, you're going to have to be with him at least a couple years. You need 2 years.
Someone asked about the friendship between Jessica and Chelsea, Auntie Chelsea.
Well, I don't know. I'm about to get my pizza. I'll be right back.
I'm just trying to figure out why Jessica got so much camera time.
Because
she's on the next show. She's going on the next show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But her camera time was irrelevant and proved it served no purpose. Like she was literally in everybody's conversation. She got more time than everybody on the cast, and she was the most irrelevant individual for the most part.
But she didn't get the smoke that she deserved either, because it's like low key, you were kind of interfering with Jimmy and Chelsea's situation a little bit. Let's be honest. Let's be for real. Now that you want to be best friends with Chelsea and stuff, doesn't really mean nothing. But low key, you were trying to interfere as much as you can. Unfortunately for you, Jimmy just didn't go for it. That's the difference. That's the big difference. But let's rewind real quick, since we got Jimmy up in there and we still on Jeremy. How about Jeremy throwing Jimmy under the bus?
Why Jimmy so butthurt? Why Jimmy so hurt about being called a villain?
And it was the weirdest reason on why he was being called the villain. He was only being called the villain because he had to decide between the two ladies.
He was the only man at the time that had a decision to make.
I think Jimmy was bothered. It's just like when you feel like somebody is less than you and they trying to bring you down to their level. I think that's what bothered Jimmy. It's like, no, bro. Like, you're trash.
That was Clay and Matthew. That was Clay and Matthew, because that's how Clay felt about Matthew. But I think Jimmy liked Jeremy. I think he felt they were friends.
Right. And you're trying to bring me down. You're trying to drag me in. You're trying to lessen my character. So, WTF.
I can see both, but I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see Jimmy. You know, Jimmy had more fire for Jeremy than he did for anybody else.
He did. I don't know.
I thought it was odd to me. Yeah, I agree with Jayla. Jimmy was all the way pissed, and it's like.
That's why he was pissed. He said, "Don't call me a villain, and I'll find out you a scumbag." Tell him like about you trying to make me look like the bad guy. Is really you, nigga. We fighting.
Jimmy don't see himself as the bad guy at all, but yeah, I mean, when we look at it, Jimmy was a bad guy, not to the level of Jeremy, but it's like, why are you so concerned? Jimmy, why are you so concerned? He's like, I can sleep better at night because, Jimmy the bad guy. Why are you concerned?
But look, you concerned that bothered you in the pause, but then turn around and hang out with this dude so he can show you the picture of Jessica later on.
Y'all hanging out at the gym. Y'all at the gym. And you holding all of this all the way to the reunion. I mean, come on. You don't want to be put in jail. I mean, at the barbecue, he said, don't put me in your mess, dude. Don't put me in your mess. But dang, Jimmy, it ain't that serious for you to be that. Jessica wished you would die if you didn't get your EpiPen. You had no qualms with her.
Child. No, he ain't gonna have no qualms with her because he's still low-key feeling her. Let's get that out. He's still low-key feeling Jess. He could sit here and try to deny it. He's like, you are beautiful,
He's another one. Like Sarah Ann, he gotta wait for an appropriate time before he can spin the block.
His thing is he not trying to fill the block on a real reason, and he would know if he would spin the block with her, it has to be on a real reason. She has a whole kid. It ain't just no good time, fun time over there or whatever. It's not a Sarah Ann situation. So if Jessica did not have the kid, yeah, he definitely would have been trying to spin some blocks or whatever. But he know that's the whole reason why he didn't choose her in the first place. He sit there and want to make up the story of her storming out and all this. And I do not take me wrong. I do feel like this lady went in and gave him a handful. I think she gave him a mouthful up in them pods. And I do low-key agree with if he made a statement saying that she got a good edit, because we've seen how she can go off a bit. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out the two feelings between these two. And I'm going to just jump over to Jimmy and Jessica for a second real quick. I'm trying to figure out what's the feelings, because you guys say that we just friends or whatever, but now we not friends because he said some horrible things. But the horrible things was she stormed off. Is storming off out of the pods that horrible that we got to break up a friendship? It got to be something else. Come on now. It got to be something else. It's given, I wanted to talk to you and you, when you weren't talking to Chelsea anymore, but you didn't talk to me still, energy.
It's given I did the Sarah Ann tactic and sent you a message and you never responded after I broke up with Chelsea. That's what it's given.
Somebody sent something.
I wanted to get close and you didn't want to see me out of the bar. Is what it's given. Jimmy was, I'm sorry. And they did not go into Jimmy as much as they should have. I would have gotten rid of all the old cast members to go into Jimmy. Jimmy, why did you think it was a good idea to have an ex of yours be on your friend date?
Why did you also think it was a good idea to tell your current wife that when you don't want it on television? I agree. Okay, so I don't know if everybody is here, but the question is, if something is told in confidence, is it fair game to throw it in that person's face during the argument?
Nah. If I tell it to you in confidence, it is one of those, the only time you ever mention it is with me. We can talk about it, just us. What is given to me and what I don't like is that when she said, I didn't even realize the cameras were there or whatever. So if I tell you something about someone and you aren't even going to notice that they're standing there and you're going to tell the business. I can't trust you whether you're angry, upset. I can't trust you with everything. So you're going to say you're that mad at me that anything I tell you in confidence, you will scorch this earth no matter who's around. And you're going to tell something that I asked you specifically to keep in confidence. Something that I was trying to be open and honest with you about. So I knew, and that's why I said it. Yeah, Chelsea and Jimmy. That's why I knew it. When she did that, I had said in the previous videos here, he was done. Once she violated that trust, he was done.
So I don't know if you heard the question, AIT. So the question is, if your partner tells you something in confidence, is it fair or enough for you to throw it in their face?
To throw it in their face? No. I don't know. Is sleeping with somebody a secret?
It's told in confidence. So meaning that I'm telling you between the two of us. Sleeping with somebody can't be a secret. Like a lot of times we ain't about to tell people in the first place who we sleeping with. So technically, yes. But however, he's trying to, in his defense, this is understand, he's trying to make his partner comfortable
and protect his friend
at the same time. So he doesn't want to be lying to Chelsea, but also he wants it to be just between them two that this is the case.
So the issue is that the friend, it puts the friend at jeopardy in the current relationship.
Just puts her business out in the street. She did not sign up for the show. She did not sign up for her business to be in the street.
She did. She came on the show.
She did not sign up for the show, and he asked Chelsea not to put the friend's business out in the street.
I don't know if I recall correctly, but wasn't they talking about the size of his pee-pee? Wasn't that a thing?
They were.
Yes.
They were
yes.
indeed.
The friends were, right?
Exactly, they were.
So who am I saving?
The one with the bigger back.
But that's my point, though. I'm supposed to stall you out and save you after you sat there and came on national TV to support my man and sat there and talked about his penis. I'm confused as to why I owe you a secret at this point.
Your man asked you to be quiet about it, to hold water.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you about me. If somebody is saying something that challenges me, that makes me feel uncomfortable or some type of way, by no means do not expect me not to confront or consult somebody if that's how I feel. So if my man should know me enough to know that I'm finna go ahead, and if I feel like I need to challenge some conversation or I feel like I need to put something out there, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. So if Chelsea feels that she wanted to drag, the friend under the bus, and that's just what it is.
Let's reverse this role. Because I don't agree, because I said this in the live several times that he should have known Chelsea enough that he should have probably not told her in the first place. But let's reverse this role. You tell your man something in confidence. Now he over here throwing it in your face in the middle of an argument in front of other people.
That sounds like every day to me.
That sounds like the end of the relationship.
Are you okay with it?
Huh?
Are you okay with it?
Am I okay with him telling? It depends on what the situation is. So you brought somebody in front of me that you've been sleeping with.
No,
right?
Let's you bring it back to you. We reversed it on you. This is you who has the secret. You that has a secret that you share with your man.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a secret?
You that has a secret that you share with your man, say, I don't care what the secret is, say you talking about somebody, you slept with somebody or whatever the case, they don't want their business out there. You tell your man. Your man proceeds to sit there and throw this business out there. Are you okay with it?
Probably not.
Can I say what's not being said? That I'm surprised that so many people are missing here, or maybe they just don't care.
Wait, before you say that, answer that question, because that question was posed to everybody before we go here.
Oh no, I wouldn't like that, but that's not the situation here. I don't tell stuff in secret, but I think the nuance is the fact that, and before people start, I think Chelsea was hella annoying, and I feel like for the other stuff that she said during that drunk conversation, I probably wouldn't have been with her. She was just doing too much. The problem was with Jimmy, is what Jimmy was doing was classic manipulation that day as it relates to that particular topic, because Chelsea was very insecure in general, but she was also particularly insecure about the fact that he was sleeping with his friend. So the problem was that on camera, she's spiraling and she can't really say why she's spiraling, because he said this stuff that really honestly should not have been a secret, because that was very relevant to her insecurities. But he said something like, oh, this is a secret. I slept with my friend. And then says that you can't talk about it, which is actually very manipulative, because now I want y'all to hear me out because I don't think y'all are hearing me out. I'm actually surprised you're disagreeing with me.
Oh, nobody's disagreeing. Continue. Go ahead.
I'm about to say why. The reason why it's manipulative, because on a reality TV show, if you don't allow someone to actually speak why they're hurt, all we're going to see is Chelsea is just insecure and spiraling, when actually she has a reason why she's upset. And Jimmy has not just done this with Chelsea. Jimmy has done a lot of little manipulative stuff that I've peeped. So do I feel bad that the friend got outed? I do. I mean, I do to a degree, because I feel like she's a person who didn't technically sign up for the show. Do I think she should have came on talking about the size? No, but also Chelsea was also participating in that conversation. It was a weird thing. But
Chelsea always participates in conversations she's uncomfortable with the being
she
dip
should
and the
stop
body
doing
of
it.
AD,
Yeah,
the
she
body
should
of
stop doing
AD
that.
and stuff.
Hold on.
So that's her cover up.
Hold on. So if that's manipulative, sitting here and saying the same thing back to Jimmy, saying not just back to Jimmy, but literally calling your ex in front of Jimmy, FaceTiming your ex in front of Jimmy, and also being in front of the friend saying, oh, I still talk to my ex too. Those are just as manipulative as the first thing that you're saying Jimmy did or whatever. And both people are sitting here thinking that, okay, we have confidentiality for the fact that we both still hang out with our exes. So if you're going to say one person, no, she ain't clarified none of that stuff.
She did. She said she don't hang out with him.
She literally that was the first person she FaceTimed when she got her phone back.
No, video talking on the phone, but she says, we're not sitting here bumping elbows. She says, I may have communicated, but I don't hang out with him. Like, you're not going to see us at the bar getting drinks.
Every day. She's trying to justify the fact that she's all of a sudden uncomfortable, because she literally made him feel comfortable enough to share that he slept with his ex, saying that, no, I slept with mine. I still talk to mine too. So that's just as manipulative. Just the same thing she did with the AD conversation when he sat there. That was in confidence. Him telling her that AD is stacked. That was him saying that to her, not to AD. She opened that door, and what she do is flip it on him later on. Sat there and said, you made me feel uncomfortable by talking about her body. So if he's being manipulative, she's just being just as manipulative, if not more, on several occasions. So these two were always going to keep going back and forth with this BS on who's going to top the other one on being manipulative, but she's been doing it just as much too.
I mean, Chelsea's been manipulative since the Megan Fox comment. So I'm not ever here to say that she's not a manipulative person. And if that's how she got the information out of him, instead of just saying, hey, I'm getting uncomfortable vibes from you and your friend, did you sleep with her? That's different than saying, I still kick you with my ex, let me know about yours. So if that's the situation, that does bring context to it. But asking her to stay quiet on something that's clearly affecting her, to me, that was I think they manipulate each other. That's really my point. I think Chelsea's a villain. I think Jimmy got some villain ways. But his whole calling this a secret, he's only going so hard because he knows he brought his friend on this show. And now she's getting all this unnecessary smoke. He needs to go be with that friend, because the way he ride for that friend is the way you want any man to ride for you. He need to go be with that friend.
You make a point there. Because I feel like he defended that friend harder than he defended his fiance or wife. And I definitely feel that he chose up in that situation.
Well, she's been his wait, that's been your friend way longer. I'm still deciding whether I'm marrying you. Chelsea is still deciding whether she's going to marry him. But I'm telling you,
and that's fine. But as a friend, you need to take a back seat to my relationship, and that's just what it is. Like, no friend is coming before my spouse or my potential spouse. So as a friend, you need to understand that and respect the boundaries and the space, and let me do what I need to do for my relationship, and then we can revisit our friendship.
Right. But the fiance did not respect the boundaries that I have set within this relationship. She did not respect what he said. Don't say anything. See, those, I'm sorry.
That line had already been crossed by that point. So you already done crossed the line because you done brought her present. And then after the fact, you want to tell me that you slept with her. After the fact. You already had somebody smiling in my face that you done fornicated with. That line was already there.
Well, that part is assumed.
He gotta be smiling in the face of her ex. I don't believe he didn't meet her ex.
He didn't.
And that he was on the FaceTime too. That's how he knew. So again, if you're gonna have your ex around, I have my ex around. I didn't throw your stuff under the bus. But you want to throw mine when I specifically asked you not to do it on camera. He didn't say not to talk about it. We could talk about it. It's just not on camera.
I think one, I don't believe that he met the ex, and
Okay.
two, that's my ex. That's not my friend that I slept with. You good and well know that me and this individual had an intimate relationship. This is somebody you're trying to pass off as somebody you did not have an intimate relationship with, and then throwing it at me after the fact, and I'm just supposed to just suck it up with a giant straw.
Hence why I said he shouldn't have said nothing in the first place, because he said it to the wrong person. Because, baby, she get drunk and start spilling all the tea, child. So there's that. Okay. Anything. Unfortunately, Chelsea is not a safe space. Period. In the state that she is in, she's not a safe space. Period. Okay. Friend, not friend. Period, and stuff like that.
I also feel, even though the friend did not sign up for the show, you know that at that point when you were coming onto TV, you were coming onto that episode, that you were going to be free game. You knew that. Yeah, no. If you come on, you're going to be free game. That's what it is. So you telling me if I was on a TV show and I brought my sister on or something, they wasn't going to come look for her or validate or say anything that she did? They were. And it's just what it is. You know that coming on TV.
But we don't know what the background conversations are. We don't know. She could have said, I don't want to be on the show. And he could be like, no, it's fine. Chelsea's okay with it. I've told her that we were together. We don't know the background of it.
You're right. And she should have followed her first instinct. I don't think I should be on the show. Especially when we have a background. I don't think I'm the one for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and bring somebody else that ain't your family, since your family don't exist, remember?
But, well, hey, for family don't exist, Chelsea's family don't exist. We haven't seen any of Chelsea's backstory, her family, anything.
We saw Jimmy's friends. Did we see Jimmy's family?
We saw Jimmy's family, his mom, his dad, and his sister.
We didn't see nothing of Chelsea.
Okay.
Nothing of Chelsea. I don't know
Not
Chelsea's
friend.
dad, mom, no kind of conversation.
Well,
Does she
see,
have
what
siblings?
No, so what happened is, and I think that's what y'all failed to understand.
Don't we talk about we're talking about see what had happened was.
No, Chelsea used to be a boy, and she's
Get off of here. See. How we get all the way here? No, she used to be a boy. She used to be Megan Fox. That's why we don't know nothing about her. We can't meet her because
they say that Chelsea's family came to the dress fitting.
Her mother was at the dress fitting. That is it. That's it.
Maybe that's
but
why
we
she
didn't
got- she
meet
might
her.
got a
No,
small
we
family.
still didn't even
We
meet
did
her.
not meet the family. We did not have a sit down with Jimmy and her family. We had him with her friends. Again, we know nothing about Chelsea's backstory, her upbringing, nothing.
And her sister. Where we meet her sister?
I think her sister was at the fitting too, but we didn't meet the sister. It was just
That's okay. I didn't even
shot.
know.
We didn't meet nobody from Chelsea's side. Meet
Chelsea
like
was
how
in
we
another
sat
season.
with Jimmy's parents and realized the mom is a pack rat and the dad just lets stuff roll off his back. We know nothing about Chelsea's family and where she comes from, and whether her insecurities are coming from, her upbringing, her family, or whatnot. We know nothing.
We
They're
even
like,
met Jeremy's mom. We even met Jeremy's mom when we didn't even have to anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
right. It was Chelsea's roommate and her friends. And that's it.
Jeremy's
don't know.
mom wanted to disassociate from her raggedy son. That's why.
But we still met her. She didn't disassociate on this TV screen.
Are we ready to get to Clay and AD?
If you don't go away and stop trying to control this daggone thing. I'm about to put you off. I'm about to put you off.
I need her on here because you and El Cid on one today. I need some backup.
Yeah, I got Seaway back.
We just keeping it spicy. We just keeping it spicy, Seaway.
We making this more excited than the reunion was, y'all. Let it go.
Exactly.
This has got more entertainment than the reunion itself.
It really do. Okay. Before we get into, I mean, was it really much of Clay AD before I jump over to these questions that they was given? Should I do the questions that they was given the people first, or should I just go to Clay and AD? Which
you did Trevor already?
What was the questions?
Oh, you know what? Let's speak on Trevor though, because we didn't really get Trevor out the way, huh? No, I was talking about the viewer questions, because the viewer questions, we didn't really get Trevor out the way and his mute challenge that he did. That guy did a good Beyonce mute challenge.
I felt bad for him. I was like, is he mute? Like, what's wrong with him?
Then my guy
said somebody called the paramedics. I thought he was having a heart attack.
He was up there having a whole seizure, baby. I was like, what is happening right now? What's going on with my poor baby? Poor Trevor.
He looked unwell.
Oh, he lost all color, baby. He lost all color. They was like, so this text message reads, he said, text messages. How'd you get the text messages? What?
It's the hard clay blinks he had for me.
That man has some issues. Trevor just need to go to therapy. That's where he need to go.
Why was Trevor a villain?
Because he had a whole girlfriend who agreed to his nonsense.
But none of this, nobody even cared. No, it wasn't part of the show. It didn't matter. Like, this is like back after the fact. We need a topic to talk about.
Oh, I think it's because
integrity.
Because Chelsea got dragged so bad for not picking him. Like, people was like over here putting save Trevor, protect Trevor at all costs. I'm ready to go to war for Trevor. And then we found out after we did all of that, this man was, had a whole girlfriend. And we ain't talking about killing for Britney either. But I guess we're gonna wait.
I guess the pizza is good, Seaway. Thank you. Thank you for putting this in. Okay. What is it? Pepperoni? What you got on there, baby?
I'm using some deep dish.
Okay. All right. Well, no.
She is proving that your show allows you to eat, and there will be no issues.
There would be no issues. You can eat whenever you like. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the bathroom whenever you like. We don't have to escort you or anything like this. Trevor was highlighted just to show about the integrity of the show. That they put Trevor there and highlighted his whole story so they can remind y'all, all you people that want to come on the show, future people, and do not be coming over here to promote anything that you don't or do have going on, which Trevor said he don't have nothing to promote.
He wasn't even promoting nothing. What did
he don't have nothing to promote? He was just trying to get away from the girl he was with.
Exactly. Bro, you did all that. You're not promoting nothing. He's talking about what career? I'm like, yeah, what career? Why did you do that?
Trevor said, I was just trying to get away from this girl. I thought she would sit here and leave me alone, but clearly she gonna out me at the end. That's what she gonna do.
Well, maybe Trevor had a protein powder coming out. We don't know.
My guy said he had a plan. He planned a speech for this. He had a plan. He had a plan going into this. It ain't working out. Nothing's working out.
Nick was like, what was your end goal? Like, even as a man, he's like, so how was this supposed to end for you? What was your ideal situation?
He said, bringing the mother back.
You know what? I actually kind of get Trevor. It's like you're doing something, you know that it's not for you. So let me go on this show, try to see what I come up with. All right, I got kicked off. It didn't work. Let me go back to old girl. That's what it was.
It'd be different if he didn't tell old girl though. It's giving old girl put you up to this more so than anything, and you said okay.
She agreed.
That's the craziest part. She was down for the unicorn of it all. Okay, she was down for finding her a sister wife. Okay, until she realized she wasn't gonna be a wife at all. And then she's like, I'm about to release all these text messages.
Did she help him write the script?
Maybe it was like, you know what, go explore, go find yourself, and come back to me. You know, you set a cage bird free. If it come back, then it's yours. And that's maybe what that was.
What's that song? If you love someone, hold on. You just gonna let them go and see if they come back. I don't know. Y'all seen the song?
The saying is, if you truly love something, let it go, and if it comes back to you, it was truly yours.
Yeah, I don't know why the song is not coming up.
Unfortunately for that girl, Trevor didn't quite come back right away, and she was like, "F this, we about to release, we be about to release all these text messages."
It was the girl's mama.
No, that was Jeremy's mama, Jeremy's ex-fiance baby mama that released that. The girl released these messages.
Trevor's they said it was. They said it was Trevor's girl's mama.
No, Jeremy's girl ex-fiance's mama released those.
Yeah, it was a lot going on with these with the people.
Why didn't ask Chelsea about the bracelet conversation at the cookout? That would have been a good conversation.
Wait, can you remind me what's the bracelet conversation?
She was staring deeply into Trevor's eyes and reminding him he still wore the bracelet, and reminded him that she taps on it every day.
I forgot they little convo.
Yeah, that was not healthy with your fiance standing right over there, Chelsea. So they could have had that. They could have done that first, had that conversation, put Chelsea in a little tough spot, and then hit Trevor with the sledgehammer.
They felt like Chelsea been through enough. They wasn't gonna put her in no more tough spots.
No, they needed to go ahead and continue to put her through some tough spots or whatever, instead of talking to these other people and all this stuff like that. We need to stop coddling these people, because that's why they continue to do this manipulative bad behavior that she was doing all up and through this season. Because it was okay for her to sit here and keep pushing on that daggone little bracelet or whatever it is that he gave her, but it wasn't okay for Jeremy to send the picture and for Jimmy to see the picture, or Jimmy to hang out with his friends and all this stuff like that. So it's like, no. We need to talk about why it was okay for you to think that was okay to sit there and say that on TV, if we want to sit there and say why it was okay for Jimmy to bring his friend on TV. We can't be doing this stuff. Chelsea don't need no damn protection. She been out here wilding this whole damn season. But yeah, Trevor's like, let me off the stage, please. Just, y'all not paying me enough, and I ain't got nothing to promote to sit up here through this. So I want to go. I want to go back to my phone and my text messages and see who else I can sit here and talk to.
What do you think about him at the end saying, Chelsea, you're the only one I owe an explanation to, so that I'll give to you. No cameras, no lights.
You know what that means. You know what that means. hey, if you still open, I'm still open.
You still tapping your bracelet? Because I'm tapping mine.
I'm still thinking about you, girl. Call me. That's crazy. I don't know. Poor Trevor. Anyways.
Yeah, he walked away like a shamed puppy too. Head down, drooping, like Eeyore.
You on mute.
Yeah, he's like a Sarah Ann in my opinion. He's so raggedy. I don't even want to talk about him. Like, life gonna beat him up before I can. So
I like when you do that. I don't want to talk about him and then proceed to continue to talk. I love it, I love it when you do it every time.
Life gonna get him.
He still got the. They should have asked him, do he still have the bracelet? That would have been a good enough question. So we could have seen Chelsea's face in that moment. If he still got the bracelet, she'd be like, I'm gonna tap it in a minute.
Oh, you didn't see them both wearing it? They was wearing it.
They was both wearing it. I'm not about to do
it. She had hers on her ankle.
Now she got an ankle bracelet. She got an ankle monitor.
Or have Jimmy ask, hey, Trevor, why are you asking me to give you a kiss too when you over here talking my fiance?
Wait, why Jimmy gonna call him Pumpkin? He said, I'm gonna stay out of that pumpkin. I'm not playing with Jimmy.
You know what?
Jimmy's a fool. I don't know why people is missing what Jimmy be doing.
Did y'all see Jimmy grab Chelsea leg when they got the accident about Jessica? I said, y'all together again? Are y'all together while you consoling her? Okay.
He just knows how insecure she is, because when they was talking about Jessica and they asked how Jessica looked, did you swallow? Did you choke? And you seen her face, she rolled her eyes, got a little attitude, sat back, clenched herself, like she was bothered to the max.
She was bothered even with Trevor talking about his ex-girlfriend. I was like, oh, so did you and Trevor have that's another question they should have asked. Did you and Trevor ever link up after you and Jimmy called it off? What happened there? Like, it was so many missed questions.
They protecting Chelsea at all costs. I told y'all that.
Okay.
Chelsea.
Okay. All right. Anyways, moving on. Y'all want to get to AD, or y'all want to? I'm gonna do the viewer questions and stuff, since y'all love playing AD so much. So we'll leave them for last. So the first viewer question was to Jessica, and it was basically about what Autumn thinks about her being on the show and all this stuff like that.
Irrelevant.
Again. The next question was to Johnny and Amy. Was condoms not an option? Johnny proceeds to tell us how he hadn't understood and knew about birth control, yada, yada, yada.
Ignorance.
Well, just a minute. There are several men, Johnny's age and younger, who are uneducated as far as birth control.
Then they shouldn't have an opinion. That's the problem.
They should be educated, not have an opinion. They should just be educated.
Opinion, not opinion before education.
So what I appreciate is them bringing up the information so that there can be a conversation for men in that age group.
I just ain't never seen somebody have such a strong opinion about that they don't know nothing about.
No, baby, they be running all up and through this world like that, child. Okay, let the men's tell it about abortion and stuff, and they ain't never had a child in the first. So there is that.
You don't know nothing about it.
But your question was to Chelsea about the Laura and Jess convo on Jimmy. Was it inappropriate? She said it was odd to see, and then Jess goes, it wasn't her best moment.
I missed that one.
She didn't say what she really thought at the time, because you would have been pissed if you were in her position, that here you are pushing this lady to try and insert herself in my relationship. But now she and Jessica are besties, so I can't really say anything bad. So it just felt weird. Just felt weird.
And just, I apologize. It wasn't my best moment. Okay. I didn't understand Vanessa not giving her pushback like she was doing on Sarah Ann in that moment or whatever. And actually, the pushback really should have went to Laura, because it wasn't Jessica who was actually initiating to try to talk to Jimmy. It was Laura trying to initiate Jessica to go talk to Jimmy. So that was really, as Mocha says, uncomfy. Okay. Like, what is happening right now? Like, okay, ladies.
And people keep saying that Jimmy would have chose Jessica if Jessica didn't have a baby.
I think he would have.
You think that was a deciding factor?
Yeah, definitely a deciding factor. Yeah, the way he shut down about when he realized she had a baby and all that stuff like that, it was a major thing.
You sure?
Not only that, it's when she told him too. She didn't tell him till they were really into it.
Yeah, she didn't divulge that information off early, so it was held off like a secret or whatever. And it was the lesser of two evils is I deal with you who had an ex, or I deal with you that has an actual living child that I got to go forth with. One or two. Am I ready to be a baby daddy, a baby stepdaddy, or can I deal with somebody that just had an ex-husband and just moved on? It was weird. Virtual question to Sarah Ann. Does Jeremy currently share his locations? Apparently, he said yes. Apparently he does. That's his thing. He answered the question for her. It doesn't help. He still gets caught. He's stupid. All
You
right.
know how to find me.
Right. You'll find me with my friends off my watch. My watch. I'll leave the watch with the phone next time. That's what that basically learned. Okay. Last question. I think this was the last one. I hope it was. Jimmy and Chelsea. Oh, that was about the sharing the secrets of the friend, and which she denies her ex is that close again. So we kind of discussed that one already. So outside of that, those were the virtual questions that kind of wasted our time as well because those weren't good questions. I'm sorry, audience. I know I'm pretty sure y'all gave some great questions out there in the audience, but they chose what they wanted to choose, and those questions pretty much sucked.
Wait, though, did you see what Trey Mack said in the comments?
Which one? The man listen? I mean, it's like that. People don't know. People don't know about their reproductive systems and all this stuff like that. It needs to be educated. And if they never got the chance to take the class at school, which tells you very limited, and your parents don't talk to you, it's very common. Y'all be surprised. Shoot, it's still teaching grown women how to do their hygiene now. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Hey, when I was coming of age, my grandfather was my go-to. I mean, so I'm not as shocked as, what Trey Mack said. My grandfather was the person that educated me rather than my mother and grandmother.
Is it a big surprise that, that a lot of women don't know about these things or don't know themselves like that?
It's not a big surprise because, they aren't being taught. Just like it's not a great surprise that there are a lot of young men out here that don't even know how to change a tire. They're just some life lessons or life skills we aren't being taught right now in the younger people.
What y'all think about AD connecting with Matthew?
I wish they would have aired it. I wish we would have seen that interaction. I wanted to see their initial reactions meeting each other. That would have been lovely.
She went to this man's house.
She
I'm
slept
just
with him.
glad. What?
Let's
She went
think
to
about
this.
this, right? She sat there and she was like, she met him. They was like, oh, you met Matthew. She went like this. I feel like he boring a hole in my neck. And then she goes, we met two-ish times. Two-ish times. You meet two-ish times. Okay. And then it's like, yeah, we went out. He made rice and chicken. This is the way she laid it out. She smashed. For sure, she smashed.
And why is she apologizing to Clay? You single, you doing what you want. Why are you apologizing? Why are you even deferring to him?
She didn't tell him
So
the whole
what?
truth.
She don't have to tell him. It's not his
Yeah,
business.
it's not though. But when you pretend like you telling somebody something, but you don't really give them the whole story, and then they get the whole story, you kind of like.
But I don't care if you're getting the whole story now. It's not your business. You said no at the altar. I'm going about my life. Matthew invited me. Yes, he probably had unseasoned chicken and rice. But hey, I went and enjoyed myself. It's not his business. That irked me more than anything. Like, why are you comforting Clay the fact that you're telling all this? Not his business. Not his business to be concerned about it. He done let you go. He done let you go. Not his business. So I agree with you, Trippin. I wish they aired it. I wish they showed, even if it was a photo of them sitting down to dinner together. I wish it was something they showed, or at least an update. Where's the other Amber? Because he said he left to go get that Amber. Did she not send a statement or anything that she blocked him, didn't want to see him, didn't want to be involved? I mean, it was a lot of holes in the story. A lot of holes. But I don't blame her. But whether she and Matthew really got together biblically, I don't know. I don't know.
See what?
I don't have an opinion. Not on this one.
Ah, I say this much. I didn't understand why she had to keep trying to check in with Clay unless you still with Clay. That's the only reason you trying to check in. And I agree with Life of Botch. He might have said that he knew about it, but I don't think he knew the degree of it. I don't think he knew it was 2 or 3 times. He knew that they probably seen each other or whatever. I don't think he knew that she went over to his house and had dinner because he looked quite perturbed up there, sitting there, and she checked in with him a few times as she was saying it. So it was given, somebody gonna be in trouble when they get home tonight. But if y'all not together and he broke up with you, yes, I seen Matt. After me and him left, and when we wasn't talking, yes, I went and seen Matt. We seen each other, and we went out a couple of times, and that was it. I shouldn't have to check in to see if he's okay. So it was given a little sneak, sneak link on the side or whatever.
Right, because you could totally describe, oh, he has a wonderful apartment, he's a wonderful house, da da da. It screamed, I got to tell you all this tea, but I can't spill too much because Clay will get burnt. And he's still trying to heal, and I'm still protecting him. Because underneath this brown color nails is still the red color.
Yeah, we smashing. Me and Clay, still. So it is what it is. Anyways, Clay and AD. Okay, we done seen some tears forging in the eyes. We didn't need no Visine for them to come. You know, we didn't get the Denzel tear, unfortunately, but they were like welling. And it sounds like at least the family have started their healing journey. Okay, the dad unfortunately still hasn't given him an actual apology for any of his wrongdoings. And I'm gonna say to this before I shift it on to somebody else, Clay, don't look for your dad to give you an actual apology. Don't look for it because it may never come, sweetheart. Okay, you may never get that apology. Just go ahead, vow to yourself that you're gonna be a better man than your dad was. Take all the good that he showed you, apply that to where you want to apply it, and then place the rest on hold somewhere else and leave it alone. Okay, find you some good people like Brett to be in your corner to help you get along. And obviously, you can see Brett is learning on the job too. So it is done. You learn how to, it's just like parenting. Marriage is the same way. We don't get a handbook saying, here's how to marriage. You learn on the job. You learn with your partner. So that's how you're going to have to do that. I'm so sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I don't know if cheating is a disease now, but if it is, maybe you need to go find you some pills or something over the counter to help you out with that, because I don't know. But
or genetic disorder.
All right. If you can have a chromosome removed, please go have that surgery to have it removed, because I don't know. But if it's so much of a disorder, I just don't get that. I don't get that. But carry on.
We commented about them tears. I think Clay's tears were genuine, but they were genuinely not about AD. They were about the realization that he's not as good of a person as he would like to be. Or more importantly, that they were tears about how he feels like he has been portrayed or appeared on this show. I do think that he was very disappointed in his appearance. Do I think in many ways he came on here for some level of clout? I do, but I do think that at some point he maybe thought that he could try, but then he realized that he was just not prepared at all for marriage. But I mean, I think I felt like he was sincerely distraught about something. AD no, and that was confirmed because he was on Tamron Hall today with his mama. After all of that, AD is my wife, the love of my life, this and that. He was on Tamron Hall today saying that he ain't ready. He said that AD wants to be a wife today and he still don't want to be a husband. So I don't know what to make of Clay. And frankly, I'm not even going to attempt to try to figure out what he got going on. Yeah, he's confused.
Do we think, as she said, that he played in her face?
It's hard for me to say that when I feel like she played so much in her own face. But I do believe that Clay is one of those dudes. We even saw it on the reunion where he pushes, he tugs, he pushes and pulls. Like, the toxicity when it comes to Clay is, if you're not ready as a man, make a clean break and move on. AD making her break, and then you're on the reunion couch talking about you're the love of my life and I could be with you again. And I think that's probably what he was doing behind the scenes. A lot of like push and pull, push and pull. They showed her looking very delusional, but I do believe that he was doing a lot of that behind the scenes. And it looks like he's still doing it because there was no reason for him to be on the reunion acting like he has gone to therapy, he's figured out his wrongs, and he's ready to be more serious. And then you're on Tamron Hall's show today talking about she want to be a wife and I'm not a husband. I can't keep up with Clay. I can't keep up with him. And
Well,
I
that's
think
what she admitted to in an interview, that that's what he was doing, that tuck and pull
mhm.
a lot of times or whatever. That he even said that he agreed that he wouldn't humiliate her and disappoint her in her face. That she said she's okay with the yes or no, but she kind of just wants to know right now. And he said that he wouldn't humiliate her, you know, in public or whatever and stuff like that. But I
I
don't know.
think he's using this to make her a placeholder. It's like, if you stick around long enough while I go handle my thing, then eventually we'll get married. Cause you know I love you, girl. You know I love you. I really do. He is playing with her now. During the show, I agree with Seaway. She played in her own face. She played and covered up, or just, brushed some stuff aside. But he's telling her, you need to sit there and wait till I'm ready. And that I don't like. She needs to just move on. He needs to just move on. This has been a wonderful experience. Have a wonderful life. But I'm not going to sit here waiting on you to heal. And then all of a sudden, we turn around and you got somebody else on your arm getting married. Well, what do they say? I've wasted my good
Your good years.
my good years on you,
Childbearing years.
childbearing years on you. Yeah, AD needs to keep the same energy when she said you were playing in my face. Keep that energy. Say la vie. Have a nice life.
Yeah, I think the problem is that women need to look at wishy-washiness and uncertainty and back and forth as hard no's instead of looking at the no's and the yeses, the no's and the yes. If a man wants you, he's going to be very set and it's not going to be very wishy-washy. And I think that's what you could take away from this situation. If a man is going back and forth, if he's going 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, that's all the answer you need to know. And clearly he's still doing it, because when I was watching the reunion, I was really battling with feeling like, okay, I can tell that these are sincere emotions, but what they're about though is the part that I was wrestling with, because my gut was telling me he's not ready to really change this all around, because if he was, he would have done it throughout this year, or maybe after 6 months of therapy, or whatever that he was going through. And I'm sorry, I was like, I was standing for Clay's mom, but I suggest y'all watch the Tamron Hall interview. His mom is part of the problem. I sat there and saw her coddling and defending a lot of his stuff, and I think that's another problem. A lot of these men are not forced to grow up. Like you say, Elsie, they can't change a tire. They don't have that. There's a lot of coddling going on. And I could tell that he's been coddled and he's a bit conflicted. But what he's not conflicted about is that he doesn't want to be a husband right now. He knows that. So there's that.
So he's still not standing on his own. He's still, even in this appearance, with his mother. So he may, and I say this in a not a derogatory light, but he may usually have a woman as a crutch system. He can't stand on his own. And she will be there to hold him and hold up the slack and make him feel good about himself. Because he doesn't have to make the hard decisions if she is there. Or he doesn't have to face himself if she's there.
Again, it's still gonna come back to my thing, especially, and this is back to AD. And because AD and Chelsea are a lot similar, they just go about it different ways. There's an insecurity there. Until we feel that insecurity with self-love, you're going to keep running into these kind of issues because you're trying to fill a void of your father with men in the streets, and you cannot do that. That void cannot be filled by anything but God's love at this point, because your dad's gone, unfortunately. And I hate to sound rude and blunt about it, but he's gone, and you can't fill that void with no man off the street. So you have to fill that void with loving yourself and putting standards and boundaries in place to protect yourself at the end of the day. When a man is not flowing in the path that you want him to flow in and still being the leader that he needs to be for himself, then that's not your man. I don't care how good this man looks. I don't care how successful this man is or whatever and stuff like that. If you want a particular thing and you want it and you have it in a particular goal, free yourself up for the person who is aligning themselves to be with you. Because God is going to put them in that place. But at the same time, while you're freeing yourself up, work on yourself so you can recognize when he comes into your life. You keep sitting in this hurt space, you're going to keep attracting hurt people. They're feeding off of your energy just as much as you're feeding off of theirs. So you need to go and heal yourself as much as you can. And that same time that this whole year he's been gone out of your life, working on himself, you should have been working on yours. Because when he sat there on this daggone couch next to you saying how much he loves you, you should have stuck on that. Well, you had your opportunity. I'm sorry. The best we can do right now is be friends. The window's closed. I gave you the opportunity, and to be honest with you, I gave you the opportunity to give me a no before the altar. Regardless if it was money involved or whatever the case may be, you were doing it for me. You should have gave me the heads up, a real clear heads up that you didn't want to do it, and you didn't, and you let me down. And for that, I will not be let down by you again. The most I can give you is a friendship. And I have to go on to find my own man. But she's still leaving this door open for this man to continue to do whatever he's doing. And I'm sorry, a year is just not enough for him to heal from the trauma that he has. It is not. It's a start, but it's not enough, because you're telling me to unprogram something that I've learned since I've been in this world. That's my father. That's a lot of unprogramming I have to do. That's a lot of processing I have to do. And especially if my daddy is not helping me through that, and I'm doing it by myself, that's an even longer process. It could be sped up if his dad was willing and really open to helping him, but it doesn't sound like he's doing that. The only help he gets is from his mom, who needs to let him go as well. You need to let that man be a man at this point, Mom. I'm sorry. Because as long as you keep holding him as a crutch, he's going to be keeping looking for one crutch to the next crutch, to the next crutch, to the next crutch. And he's never going to stand on his own. He needs to go and stand on his own business. If he says he wants to be this particular man, go be that particular man. I'm sorry. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard to sit there in my mind and say, this is what I want. As athletes, as an athlete himself, you know how you sit there and you meditate and you visualize yourself winning the game, you making a game winning shot. You as a track, we always, as track athletes, we always vision ourselves crossing the finish line and the time that we want to beat. And a lot of times when we did that vision, unless you were just going up against somebody that physically was just better than you, you was able to complete that goal. So he has it in him as an athlete to go ahead and make this commitment to himself. And I challenge you a little bit of life about in the audience and stuff like that, because marriage, the title of marriage is what brings the fear to him. It's not commitment. He committed himself to sports. He committed to himself to this business. He committed himself to a whole bunch of other things that he's doing. He even committed himself to this program, this whole thing up until the marriage part of it. It's the word, the title marriage, that brings the fear to him. So he needs to go ahead and do whatever he needs to do. If he wants to be a husband, which marriage is, it falls under the category of marriage. If you want to be a husband, you need to go ahead and do what you got to do to prepare yourself for that commitment of being in a relationship with one person for the rest of your life. You're an athlete, sir. You can do it. I'm not about to tolerate all the excuses of I'm just not ready. I'm just this, that, and the third. You're not ready because you don't want to be ready. Go prepare yourself mentally. That's a mental challenge. That's what it is. There's nothing physical you can do about that. That's just a mental challenge that you need to go ahead and go prepare for, and stop trying to sit here and wait for your daddy to give you an apology that he's never going to give you.
I think, Jay, that's what it's coming down to, though. He doesn't want to do it. And the problem with Clay is he is like a lottery ticket for women. He's a walking lottery ticket that he's flashing in front of women's faces, and he's very much so aware. We've talked about this before. Clay is above 6 feet. He owns his own home. He has multiple businesses. He's at least a 9 by most people's standards, right? So he knows that every time he encounters women, especially women who have lower self-esteem, he knows that they will look past his nonsense. He knows that. And why should he give up his walking lottery ticket? That's what he is. He's a walking lottery ticket. Everybody wants to see if they're the one that's going to hit the lottery to bag a Clay. And they're willing to look past straight, no kids. Some people question that, but I think straight, no kids, right? He's a walking lottery ticket. And so just like how people play the lottery when the odds of winning are horrendous, they're doing the same thing with Clay. It's the same thing. So he doesn't want to give up that freedom. He's doing this on purpose. Why should he settle for AD? You know how many ADs are walking around here? They got more money, better status, maybe a better face, better career. I'm just sorry. Like, there's a lot of ADs. There ain't a lot of Clays, and he knows that. He gonna wait till he ain't got no hair. He gonna wait till he got about 5 kids. He gonna wait before, when he settled down, he gonna be bald head, no kids, 5 kids. Watch. He ain't settling down now. He's the prize. Now he's the actual prize, okay? That's the truth.
You got anything on it, AIT?
I reserve the right.
Wait a minute. You were the one saying when we get to Clay and AD. Wait a minute. Reserve. You better step up.
So, all right. Fine. I was actually touched, because I have to take it all the way back. I was actually touched. You know what I'm saying? He got all choked up. And I really believed him, because I even shed a tear. You know, when he was expressing, when he was expressing his love and his feelings and saying that he messed up, he acknowledges that even though there are a lot of ADs out there, you know, he acknowledges that in his net, he had a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a good girl. That was somebody who would have catered to his needs. That's somebody who would have been on his team. That's somebody who would have rided for him, you know, and would have put him before herself for the most part. And he acknowledged that. And it hurts. And you feel some type of way when you lose something like that. I don't know if you guys ever experienced or had somebody you thought, you know, was like, I should have stayed where I was. If you ever got one of them situations, you know, you acknowledge and you feel some type of way. And I think he sees that. So I felt that his apology or his expressing his emotion was heartfelt. Now, at the same time, was he ready? I think that he thinks that he's ready. You know, and I think that's a part of the struggle. That's a part of the battle. You know, if he believes it, then he feels like he's going to put in the work. He said he's been doing what it takes to get on that step. I believe that marriage is a process. It's something that you learn with an individual. Does everybody come in the situation on go, on 10? They don't. You know, it's a growing process. And I think that they are a couple that could have grown, and even still at this point could grow in the correct direction, or to grow in love and to grow into, I don't know why you do that, to grow into a better place. So I was touched by that. I saw her getting choked up by it because she clearly still has emotions for that man. She is just so hurt that she can't give in to those emotions without looking like more of a fool than she already looks. But you know, I can see that she wants to want him back. She does. But pride won't, you know, friends, whoever, the audience, the world won't give her that space to take her back. I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. Sid.
So every time she rolled her eyes when he said, "You were the love of my life," "You are the love of my life," what was that about?
That was a humbling, being modest moment. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know, that's what that was. She felt it. She embodied it. She took it. She gave the face she gave.
I'm gonna say this much: it wasn't past tense, so that was kind of to me, it's like you are the love of my life, which is currently handling or whatever. But yeah,
I wish the Lachey's would have asked them when was the last time they saw each other. When's
or
the last time?
are y'all currently dating now?
Right. Or whose chicken and rice tastes better?
We know it's Clay's. We know Clay's chicken and rice.
Clay said he don't cook. Didn't Clay say he don't cook?
Well, then he ordering chicken rice that tastes better because she said
Clay's chicken and rice is better because Matthew had Cornish hen.
He didn't have no flavor either. He had no seasonings.
It's a different flavor to it, and definitely the quantity or the sizing is different as well.
Are we still talking? Lord Jesus. No,
is that what we calling it now? Chicken? You calling it chicken? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. We know about the TikTok, baby. We know about the TikTok, but yeah.
I don't know about the TikTok. Tell me about this TikTok.
Oh yeah. The sis has posted a TikTok. Sister had posted a TikTok of them all together at a family event, like Thanksgiving, holiday, whatever, and stuff like that. So
that don't mean they together.
It don't, but it's just strangely odd, you know.
They still got a connection, just like the other two that we didn't mention, the school couple.
I know.
What's that? Who's that?
I know Kenneth and Brittany, who talk to each other every single day.
They still communicate. They still got that type of energy. Given the opportunity, they probably gonna be over there at school function taking family photos, but they ain't together.
So, yeah, he said on Tamron Hall that they ain't together. So if you don't claim me on Tamron Hall, then we ain't together.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Well, then again, it might have been that same situation with what's the name when they just who did Chelsea blast? Was it Jeremy, or the one with Sarah Ann?
Yeah, Jeremy.
You know, we ain't together. That might have been that we ain't together moment.
No, it might have been that you had dinner at Matthew moment, and I ain't know about that.
Was it Matthew for dinner moment?
So you got your get back for humiliating you. So you're gonna humiliate me.
You got your back get. You got your back get.
You got your back broke. Keep playing with me.
Not broke. But she was flattered though, because you could tell by the way she kind of clutched her pearls when they was talking about Matthew. She was like, I did test out the water.
Excited.
Yep, she blushed. She blushed.
She was a bit excited every time they mentioned Matthew's name. She was like, "Oh, and he's very attractive. No disrespect." I was like, "Why are you saying no disrespect to him if there's nothing over there? Like, he was attractive. So are you, babe." Like, okay, but I feel like that car ride home got real awkward, and now we're not together because I didn't know about the chick that Matthew.
Wait. I'm sorry. I don't mean to backtrack, but so you know when the host had asked Sarah Ann or asked Jeremy if they kissed. And they denied it. And she goes, I never invited him in my house. You think because he smashed in the car?
Now, you don't have to kiss. We all know that. We grown.
But do you think they smashed in the car?
But it's like, kiss where?
I mean, it don't even have to be a smash in the car these days. You know, people be all in the alleyway and stuff like that. So it would do what you do, you know. On the porch. I don't know where y'all was at, but you know, it is what it is. Y'all live together now, so there's that. There's that. So enjoy. Do
Same
you?
thing like 80. We don't know if it's just the rice and chicken she had. And again, this is part of one of her major red flags. Why are you now, in communication with a man that did not choose you? Why
But
are you
was
even?
but was all up in Sarah Ann's face telling her he didn't choose you though.
Wait though, because Zach didn't choose Bliss, and they're in heaven.
Yes, they are.
So
But that's what I'm saying. But none of these people supposedly knew that at that time because this show was pretty much airing when we were watching that. Because I just looked at the thing. So I mean, they was filming or whatever they was doing when we was pretty much. So, but anyway, I'm just saying it's just the irony for me that we just all out here doing everything on this show, but we be looking at each other all crazy eyed and all this stuff like that when we eventually. But in her defense, she was single when she went to Matthew.
She didn't know if Matthew was single.
This is true though.
Okay.
But I don't know. What she did know is that she didn't know if he had somebody. That's what she did know.
So was Matthew the rebound? Were you doing a Jungle Fever rebound?
Did Matthew ever find the other Amber? Because she and Amber are friends now. Y'all do know this. Her and Amber are friends and stuff, and they've been posting their little TikToks together and all that. But did he ever find the other Amber?
All I can say is Matthew is not somebody I would go to his house and eat his meal without putting my location on. Okay.
just in general though, but when I first met Matthew, like I was just like he's the driest, the boringest, and the way they portrayed him just walking out on dates, cutting people off. Like I don't even see how she even allowed the date to get past to the part where she kind of felt some type of sympathy for him and gave him any type of attention. Like he was the worst. The worst.
What is she? She is a self-proclaimed Captain Save-A-Ho. So she can save Matthew. He was a project. She can save him, bring him out of his shell, and look what I have done. Look at the man that I'm with and what I have done. That's what she saw.
Oh, Amber had a boyfriend the whole time, huh?
Okay, so I don't know.
Why didn't Matthew come back?
He just declined. He didn't want to.
He declined everything.
He's socially awkward though, because he didn't really get along with the guys. He wasn't. It was a
role. It was all a role he's played. It was literally all a role, and you knew that from when he said, "America's watching."
It was. Well, why would I come back there? I would not come back unless I had the other Amber with me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't come back because everybody has painted me as a villain. I thought America was watching and on my side. So since they're not, I wouldn't come back on here. I'm not JP. I'm not coming back on here.
I ain't got nothing to clear up. I ain't got nothing to clear up with these people. And on top of it, okay, so the question is, did Matthew actually tell the ladies the same thing? Because according to AD, she still feels like they said the same thing. And then she cleared it up a little bit, saying that her story about her father was no longer valid. I was like, oh, is your dad is now a storyline?
So I think Matthew did pretty much sell them the same story, because for the other Amber to come out and say the things she said that so much aligned with AD, she felt some type of way. And the reason why AD was bothered, it was like, okay, you want to run game on both of us, that's fine. But you kind of played into my dead daddy, and you crossed the line on that, But I'm still going to go out with you 7 months later and eat your chicken and rice.
Technically, I think no, because we were talking about the process of getting married. Just like a woman would tell every man she's dating, I'd like you to ask my father for my hand in marriage. You're technically saying the same thing, but it's part of your whole marriage process. So Matthew saying, hey, I would like to ask your dad for your hand in marriage could be flipped as a woman saying, hey, after this, to any of the guys, I would like you to speak to my dad. So he said just enough alike, but not the same thing.
I'm still trying to figure it out because I done been accused of telling people the same thing.
Wait a minute, they had to meet up and compare notes for that to happen.
Okay.
Never mind. Check this out. I'll take myself out of this.
But it wasn't that I told them the same thing. I mean, it was that I told them my intentions, my goals, my objective, and my goals was my goals. So you're going to hear the same thing. So his intent, if I want to be with you, this is the process. I want to know if I leave with you. I want you to know that I want to ask your father in hand. So I can't really say if he was like really trying to like play them. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't show us nothing that was out of norm, because that would be a normal person in a traditional role to say, I need to talk to your father. I need your father's permission. I wouldn't do this without your father's permission or whatever and stuff. So it didn't seem like it was anything out of a normal, like you say, here's what my goals and my conditions are. I needed something else. Me personally, I needed something else that aligned outside of the daddy thing, because any one of these men could have easily said that to any of these women, hey, I don't feel comfortable with marrying you without talking to your dad first. So how's your dad going to feel about it? Now, if he was over there saying like, oh, so the only thing that he did say alike is, if you leave right now, I will leave with you. He kind of said something along those lines to them both.
But he said if you wanted to leave, he wasn't making a decision.
Yeah. So it's still like, yeah, but that's about the closest thing that he kind of said that was the same. I need something like, I will take you out on this date on the beach and we will walk hand in hand. And then he go to the other one and, we be at the beach and we walking hand in hand and I sit you down at the table, this, that. I need something like that to be like, oh yeah, you just copy and paste it. Like,
I just don't get the fairy tale part of it with AD. The fairy tale of asking, my dad for, my hand in marriage, the whole fairy tale of it all. I guess that, says a lot again about me, but I just didn't get that necessary. And she's going to have to do the heavy lifting to get away from that, because that is no longer an option for you.
My conflict with it is because she didn't present herself as a daddy's girl. She seemed like she had some issues with her dad. So it's like, what's this whole thing about your dad having to be a part where it sounded like y'all, before he even passed, that you didn't really see eye to eye? I don't know. And maybe it's just because she don't have the resolve that she has when he passed or whatnot. I don't get it.
Well, I've had my own, I can admit I've had my own feelings about my own current situation. But I still would want that experience, that walk down the aisle, that daddy-daughter dance, No,
I get that part of it. I I didn't understand why she felt in this moment that it would be taken away, that her line was, that made my story invalid. Your father being not present anymore does not make it any less valid because he told somebody else that same thing. That's what was puzzling to me. Why would that be the rationalization that you get in your head from this? I would have been feeling like after I told him about my dad not being here, I thought he was being sincere, that he was telling me that he doesn't feel comfortable with not being with somebody he can't talk to their dad or whatever. And me knowing that my dad is not here, I don't know. It's just something about her saying the way that she said it. It was just weird. I don't know. I don't know if I could fully flesh it out and explain it right now, but that was the rationale that it made her story invalid. I was like, I don't think that makes your story invalid, sweetie. Like,
you think she took it out of context?
I think she played it up a bit more or whatever. And I mean, I get it. Part of it is the hurt, that realization that I don't have a dad to do these things with. And other people do. And unfortunately, I don't know exactly how. They gave us a snippet of how he said some stuff, but he might have said more up in there that made her feel like, oh, because I don't have a dad to ask, that you'll never ask me or something. I don't know. But it was just more so that you went through that same process and you knew Clay wasn't going to be able to ask your dad. And it still didn't invalidate that story about your dad not being there or whatever.
I think it's because he brought up the father. Like, because you spoke on him, it's an issue. If you had not spoke on him, I probably wouldn't have the adamant feelings that I have.
But then she relates it to him asking Amber the same thing. So
at that point, it's game on. Now I'm on to you.
Yeah.
You're on to me, but you're still coming to my house eating my chicken and rice.
And I would like to clear the record. I am not toxic. Okay. In the way that you think other people are. Okay.
Wait, who did you call who called you toxic? My throat started to hurt again.
So basically, you know, she met Clark Kent, so she was hoping outside of the pods with Superman. Is that what we're going at?
Okay. I can see that. But it wasn't common in it. I think that's what she's missing the point, if this is her thing though. Because unfortunately it is common for a person to sit there and say, I would like to ask your dad's hand for marriage. That's the common part about it. In traditional standards, that's the common part about it. But like it doesn't make it insignificant though.
But is it? So many of us out here talking about no fathers in the home, you know, don't know who the daddy is. You know, is it a traditional way anymore?
Well, probably not anymore, but I mean, I don't know.
So that's why I'm confused.
My husband asked for my dad's hand for my hand, but I also came from a 2-parent household, and we believe in tradition. I don't know what everybody else doing.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's a common thing to do. Usually most people that, especially if they know your dad is still in their life, they're going to sit there and say, I want to ask for your dad. So it's a common thing. So I don't know how that makes it insignificant at the end though.
Wait, my husband asked my father for my hand, and my father's response was, if you see a hole, plug it, son.
You know your daddy's special.
What does that mean though? Is that yes or no?
Child, listen, my dad is special, okay? He's a special one.
I just want to know if that was yes or no. That's my question.
The fact that she got to tell y'all the whole story, which we're not going to share right now, of when he asked anyway. So so that's a whole different thing.
I mean, my ex-husband asked my grandfather, but again, my current husband, my grandfather had already passed away. I didn't feel the slightest, you know, but I'm just saying, with the narrative that's out there that, you know, fathers are absent, is it truly a traditional or truly something that's happening right now that's your wish is for a man to ask your father for your hand? You know, we have the independent woman, modern women think, you know.
Okay, so I even hate to ask this question right here, because even with this right here, being that AD did recently lose her dad, maybe it wasn't best for her to be trying to go on to this show herself. And maybe she needed to go through some grief therapy prior to this. And maybe it's just at this point that you, my dear, was not ready for marriage either. Because I can see where you're coming at, Deanna, but at the same time, like, if unfortunately, I don't know which order he asked which woman. We just get it in the way that it is presented. And then it makes it seem like when they finally do talk about it, that he asked after her or whatnot. But these are both interests that he has. And this is how my sister just got to say, if this is what I see for my future, this is how it's going to go. I have to ask these questions. So I don't always see it as he was playing in his face. If he is actually being serious about both of these women. That's a big if. That's a big if he's actually being serious. Now, if he's not being serious, yes, it's a big old play in both of their faces. But if he was actually being sincere in these questions, this would be a question that he would be asking both or more ladies, whoever many he had going down. Because if he is really taking this step, that's a genuine concern of his to make sure that he got clearance from the father. So if that's the case and AD is taking it in this manner, I would feel like AD, maybe you shouldn't, because your dad just previously died a few months prior to you getting onto the show. You probably needed to stay off of this just for right now and actually grieve. Let the grieving process go all the way through. I don't know.
Question, Joe, just because I understand some of what y'all were saying. How is Matthew gonna ask anybody? Because that's what we're talking about, right? How is Matthew gonna ask anybody's dad for their hand in marriage if he agreed to be on Love Is Blind?
They do before they actually get married. I don't know, because we watch Johnny ask Amy's dad.
So he meant at some point before they get to the altar, not.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Because we know that they can't ask him while they're in the pods. They ain't got no phone to talk to nobody. I don't know if he wanted him to fly a pigeon home or something. I don't know what he was expecting, but
right, because I mean, he is playing in her face if he knows her dad is dead. The only person that means, like, if he was serious about her, he would ask the next male figure in her life, whether it's an uncle, a grandfather, whoever is still alive, the brother. I've seen people do lots of different things when the dad is not there. She's not the first person to lose her dad and then get married. So to make that type of statement,
well, that would be under the assumption that she told him about the dad prior to him saying, "Hey, I would like to talk to your dad," and then because how I remember it, he said, "I would like to talk to your dad," and that's when it came out that her dad is no longer living.
I thought he said, "I wish I could go to your dad," and that's what set her off her waterworks. But I could be wrong.
Okay, I would have to go back and look at it. I don't know. But
you ain't got to go back. This reunion, it's done.
True that. Something in my eye. But yeah. Oh well, we done gave him more airtime than the TV did, so there's that.
More time than he took seasoning that chicken.
Child, please, right. You know what, Live Abide, I wouldn't even hold it past him, because the way he was moving up in the daggone pods, he could have been doing just to see who would say what. I'm not gonna hold it. I'm just giving him the benefit if the if was for real. I'm just saying it would be valid for him to ask both them questions. Now, is he for real? We don't know, because he ain't show up on this daggone reunion. So that question is left to be unanswered. Hell, we don't even know if he was for real to go chase after Amber after he left, or he was just saying that so he can get up out of there. We have no clue about this man, okay? Woo.
I can be Clark Kent for 2 weeks, but I can't do it after this.
Right.
I can be Clark Kent for 2 weeks.
Because, child, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk off of Matthew right now, okay? We all be drunk. That's all I can say. Anyways, any more thoughts about this reunion before we get up out of there? Yeah, I don't know if y'all really want to talk about Amy. What's the other two? Britney and Kenneth. I don't know if there's much to even talk about this ongoing friendship that they talk every single day, that they even made out a plan on how they're gonna break up with each other when the actual relationship starts of their person. I don't know why they, you know what, let me shut up because I'm about to be on Seaway's horse.
You can get on it real quick and then hop off. But have y'all ever seen a happier beard? Britney is the happiest beard I have ever seen.
That's what I'm just saying. I don't know what you need a breakup plan on friendship. If we
Kenneth is so annoying. He'd be like, "It's what I want to bring to this space." Like, oh my God, you can tell he be in education using all these bring to this room, bring to this space, bring to the shut the hell up and stop lying and playing in our face. He was really getting on my nerves. He is such the villain. But Netflix can't out him with his cousin's rainbow flags that she was dropping everywhere. Netflix couldn't out the man. So what were they really supposed to do but ignore them? That's all you can really do.
And what are we explaining to a new significant other? They could watch the show. We friendly, we ain't together, we ain't been together. I mean, really.
I guess they don't want to have a Jimmy and Chelsea situation going forth with their new boo, so they got to explain why they talk. I mean, y'all never smashed. That's the whole funny thing. Y'all ain't never even smashed. So what we got to talk about? We friends.
We barely lived together. He barely looked at me. He looked at his phone.
But you know, like if the rumors weren't rumoring all around and weren't confirmed by the relatives of it all, they would have really dug into why a man could have been literally looking like the next Cam and Lauren. And then you go from that to being on your phone all day and not paying no attention and then gaslighting her on the breakup. They would have really dug if they thought it was something else. But because they know what it is, they didn't want to say nothing.
I wish they really dug into the breakup because according to Britney and her TikToks and all this stuff, she initiated the breakup. So
she's saving face. They're both trying to cover. I don't know why she's trying to cover him so bad. That's that like white savior. I want to date black men, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to cover you bullcrap. Because she knows good and well what it is.
Preach.
Brittany been saved this whole time.
Maybe she did break up. Maybe she did break up with him because she know good and damn well what it is.
And now she parading around talking about they besties. I'm about over both of them.
Baby, I ain't about to be no besties with the ex, okay, that didn't want to touch me.
That would rather I wear a dolphin costume to pay me any attention.
I wish I would. You know why? The only way I am, I'm gonna tell you the only way I am, and that's because you are my ex. I'm gonna have to put my old roommate out there because they know what they are. But you are my old roommate, and you're a part of the community, and that's the only reason why I'm your best friend now, because we already realized that we going for the same fish. So,
well, what's this nosy nurse report made a good point. You know, people, they be feeling a way about, and I'm not saying it's my opinion, but there's been a lot of issues with people who perhaps may be of the community that are working with kids. There's thoughts that may not be a good thing. So, which, you know, shouldn't be, but that's how people feel. So they probably don't want to say too much about his situation because he's working with kids.
All right, well, let's stop talking about it because I don't want that man to lose his job over
Wait,
there.
I just got back. Catch me up on this.
He works as a school principal.
He's a
principal at 25 years old, middle school principal.
And what's the issue?
They best
just
now.
They act like he the minister or the priest of the church. What's the problem?
No, it's no problem. We were speculating on why Britney is going so hard to protect him and be his beard.
Okay. Once again, I don't want this man to lose his job on that side of the world because we need some black people on that side of the world right now. Okay. So we just gonna leave it alone like Netflix left it alone. So
we need more black men as principals in their schools.
My god sister's a principal.
Well, I already did enough damage on TikTok, so I ain't gotta say no more.
Okay. I'm just saying we just need more black people and they in position of teaching our youth. So we just gonna leave it alone so he can keep his thing. We all love Kenneth and Kenneth loved the kids, and that's enough. There we go. All right. Protect Netflix.
Ciao.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, he's a mother effing gaslighter. That's why I don't like him. I don't care about what he do in his other side.
He denied on social media. He denied being on the phone so much, but he didn't say anything at the reunion. Like he's scared.
He said no. He sat there at the reunion talk about he on the phone so much because they used to having an active principal or whatever stuff like that. I said you was actively on the phone. You wasn't actively at the school. They still didn't have you, sir. You was
lucky he got Britney and not. He lucky he got that Britney and not another Britney because that wouldn't have went down like that. I can tell you that.
They could all go to the next show. They should all just move along with Nick to the next show.
I for sure would have threw his phone.
I'd be like, who you talking to, Kenneth?
Right over his shoulder.
Jonathan all Majors just showed us.
Who you talking to, Kenneth?
Answering his phone.
Who so that man, Kenneth?
I'm just saying it will be fine, but
is this the Coretta Scott that Jonathan Majors was looking for?
Yes, this is who he was looking for, Britney. I can tell you that right now. Yeah. Yes, he was.
Oh well.
Cause you see how she going crazy for him.
Should have went on Love Is
I
Blind.
think Kenneth then took an L by letting Britney walk away.
He did.
He should have kept her if he was gonna do all this. He didn't commit
But
to
again, that goes to the thing of her saying she broke up with him. So I guess she said, if we not gonna pretend all the way through, then I don't need you, okay? Because there ain't no point of blocking my blessings with these black kings out here.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna
Honestly, he never gave me vibes as he was really into it. Kenneth never gave me like really into it vibes. He was always blase. Like he said, people process hurt differently. Like when he walked away from that was the energy he gave the entire relationship.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And he sat there and said he would call Clay and he was devastated. Where?
Right. He got to learn how to fully commit. If you're going to commit, you're going to have to fully commit, sir.
Him and Clay collaborated stories. Look, I'm going to lie for you, bro. Bro, you lie for me, and we good. We're going to lie for each other. We get that bro code. I'm out.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Shoot, yeah. Brittany said, "Y'all not about to block you not about to stop my husband. You're not stopping. I ain't about to let no husband stop me from getting a husband. Right. Knock it out."
That fiance ain't gonna stop no show.
Mm-hmm. She said, "And I'm about to give y'all this one last look, so just in case y'all forgot what I look like."
I like that song. One monkey don't stop no show.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
One little last look. All y'all black kings out there that want y'all a light-skinned Coretta.
Well, she look good. She came out there looking good.
That's your girl. Mm-hmm.
I just don't like when they be trying to play.
They look surprised.
Yes, he did.
Because Kenneth had Clay trying to beat the allegations. Since he had so much going on, if I was Clay, I'd be pissed. I'm like, now you got me looped up with your crap. Go on home.
Child, all the men was trying to catch everybody up in their little stuff. They like, Johnny was over there. Jeremy was like, no, Trevor was like, y'all believe Johnny? Johnny was like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. But anyways, y'all, any last thoughts? Because we about to get up out of here. My nose and stuff is starting to hurt again. I done made it through this live, so I done did good.
Life of Boz, you about to get blocked. What is wrong with you?
So y'all ain't got no more?
No
more thoughts, because I'm not about to entertain Life of Boz right now. You will not be entertained by that, okay? Anyways. All right, well, any final thoughts, Elsid? Any last call?
Don't play in people's face. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, send them up river. Don't play in their face. Don't keep them marching in time until you're ready.
We're done. We're done. I gave you your shot. No, I gave you your shot. We're done.
life of
no, we seen it. That's why we said we're not about to play with him. Okay.
I ain't mad at you though, bro.
Go away. Anyways, thank you all for being with us today. I appreciate you all coming out. If you haven't already, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And hey, guess what? Memberships are open. Please go ahead. Feel free to join the channel if you like what you've seen today. If you're watching this on replay, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like, what you think Netflix need to do better, who was the best dressed or worst dressed of the evening. I'm going to go ahead and give Trevor the worst, okay, because he came in what he had on all season. We're going to just leave him there. He was like, I'm here for a short time. I don't give a damn about none of y'all. And I'm going to give Jeremy a 5-star for his next Hawaiian shirt just to piss Laura off some more. Okay. Anyways, I see y'all later on. We're going to move ourselves up and out of here in these YouTube streets and go find out what's going on out here. Y'all have a great day. See y'all tomorrow. Oh, yes. Be here tomorrow. Ready to Love is back. We still on the foolery of that. Okay. So we back here tomorrow at 6:05 PST, 9:05 EST. Okay. So be back with me and Elsid tomorrow. We'll be back here for a quick cap of Ready to Love. So running back tomorrow. I see y'all. Y'all have a good evening. All right. Bye-bye. Y'all be good out here, okay? Be real good. Don't be crazy.
You done left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.